I'm the host of the Strutting Man Show. My name's Mr. Ozzy Rose. Hang on, I'll get some better lights here. There. I'm the host of the Strutting Man Show. My name's Mr. Ozzy Neil Rose. I'm sorry I'm about 13, 14 minutes late. I did put in my evening post and my second live that I would of today, second live of the day today. I say it right. It'd be 9 or 9:30, and then I said it in my evening post too. So I'll let Scott know just now I'm going live now, so he should be in here about any time now. Uh, I did go strutting for a little while today. I told Jared Wooten, my friend, and Jared brought me some great vegetables, a bunch of them and big ones. They're all big: tomatoes, cucumber, squash. Uh, yeah, there's Jared right there. Speaking of Jared, live with Ozzy Rose. There you go, buddy. Yeah, I was just telling everybody, and I tried to show them on the camera when I done my second live of the day, the vegetables that you brought, the big tomatoes, squash, and the big zucchini. There's Jamie. Jamie, I hadn't had a chance to contact Jamie, so I'm glad Jamie's on here. Jamie, I need you and Timothy to come get these vegetables. I can only keep maybe a tomato or two, and that's about it. The rest of the stuff, y'all will have to take there because the squash will have to be cooked and stuff. And I don't ever have time to cook squash. I don't. I've got a stove, a cook stove, a new one I bought 6 months ago, and I've never used it because I don't have time. Is my problem. So she goes, "Hey, hello. So did you hear me? Oh, okay." She said, "So I'm glad you heard me." So yeah, whenever Timothy can, he needs y'all need to come pick that up. She goes, "All righty, that'll work." Now Scott should be in here because I just sent him a text saying I'm going live now, so he should be in here any minute. She goes, all righty, good. We will," she said. Good deal, good deal. But I went strutting. I know I told Jared an hour. I think it was an hour and 10 minutes, hour and 15 maybe. I just really toured Southwest Drive and come back. I didn't even go all the way to McDonald's. I went to about as far as Cricket Wireless. Went in there and got a bottle of water, turned around, come back because I knew I had all this other stuff to do. So she goes, "We will." Good. Uh, I haven't ate yet. All I had time was to get something to drink over there at Jack in the Box. I brought some food with me in case I get hungry here in a minute. I might eat me some beanies and some crackers. Jerry goes, "As long as someone uses them, I just hate to waste food." Well, the thing is, I wouldn't have time to cook it. I know they will. Zucchini. Yeah, I don't have to have zucchini. I mean, cucumbers cooked. I can slice me up one of them, and I got salt back at camp, salt and pepper, and on tomato or two. But the majority needs to go with them. All the squash definitely needs to go with them. That way they can cook that. I wouldn't have time to cook it. I would have time to cut up a cucumber and salt, pepper, and eat that, and maybe a tomato. Jamie goes, "What's the other news you're going to tell us?" Okay, that's a good one because my mind went blank. Hang on just a minute. Oh, I know what it is. Okay, I went back to the St. Bernard's Clinic today. Come to find out, they've got all the results back on the tick test. The only tick test they didn't run was for the alpha-gal because they said that would have had been a separate one. But I don't have Lyme disease or any other type of tick-borne illness. But they took blood today to send off for the alpha-gal. And this was a different doctor I seen. Usually I see a different doctor every time I go in down there. He said it could be that, the alpha-gal. That's what he said. So he said give it 3 to 5 days and check back with them. So I said okay. He didn't seem to think I was dehydrated enough to need a bag of IV fluids. He said because I can tell you're sweating right now. I said right. I said I sweat easy anyway. He goes, "It's when you're not sweating that you be concerned." I said right. When I don't sweat, that's when I notice something's wrong. Hey, there's USA finally getting in here, Jared. I've still got a lot left. Well, good that you do, because I mean tomatoes, yeah, and cucumbers, yeah, I could use them, but the squash, if you got plenty of squash and all that, I know Jamie Ann and Timothy would take it because they got Audrey at home and stuff too. It's good to see USA in here. Well, howdy, Ozzy. I'm drinking on some Bud Ice tonight, fellas. Well, we've been wondering about you, USA. Jamie goes, "I've heard your post about you. Will tell us the rest on the show." Yeah, well, one of it was my test results was over there. That And I'm not going to tell on my first live of the day every day whether I'm going out strutting or not. I told Jared that when he brought the vegetables here. I said it's like this. I always put in my written post, it's an honor and a privilege to strut all over Jonesboro. But it's also a privilege for those who want to see me out there to see me out there. It works both ways. Don't get me wrong, and it does. So if the y'all know I go on feeling from the Lord. If I feel it, I'll go out there and strut. If I don't feel it, then I'm not going to go. So some and what I wanted everybody to understand was is if you see me out there, you'll say, "Well, the Lord moved him to go strutting today." If you don't see me out there, you can say, "Well, the Lord didn't move him to go." So that was the things I was wanting to kind of tell was that my results from the tick test that they done. Uh, see here, Jerry goes, USA, you where you been, my guy? Yeah, that's what I was wondering. And USA goes, I've been busy lately. I've been getting off work and going to bed early, Jared, and not drinking. Uh huh. And Scott goes, they're going to fuck around and find out when you go outside their head. Well, that's true. That was another thing, Jamie. Usually people when I'm out strutting, they don't usually disrespect me in any way. Most generally, I've gotten a few fingers here and there, and I'd give it right back to them, But when they pass in their cars, but I've had some businesses here and there, gyms mainly, but there's been other ones where their employees have disrespected me, and I threw it back on them every time. Don't get me wrong, but I got tired of that shit. So I was always known before. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't give you a finger and tell you go fuck yourself or whatever. I just knocked your fucking head off. And I tried to clean that up a little bit, and I'm not going to clean that up no more. So, it don't matter what business I'm in. It don't matter if it's male or female. If you fucking smart off, you're going to get some chops. And then when you go to the ground, there'll be an ambulance called for you. You won't die. You'll go to one of the two hospitals, and I'll stand there and wait for JPD or the Craighead County Sheriff's Department to come arrest me. Because there's several things I'll get in there that I don't get now. One, I'll get 3 meals a day, and I don't get 3 meals a day. Two, I'll get a roof over my head, and I don't have a roof. Okay. Three, I'll have access to a shower that I don't have now. So it's not going to bother me one bit to go. I mean, the first time I went to jail was in the old Craighead County Sheriff's Department jail back when I was 15 years old, and I was a man then. I spent 3.5 weeks in that jail, and it was in August, and there was no air conditioning, no fan, no nothing in there back then, you know. So it ain't gonna bother me to go today, because I damn sure stand for what I fucking believe in. So that's why I say, Jonesboro, you go fuck around, and you're definitely gonna find out. Like Scott said, USA goes, damn doctors ain't worth a flying fuck these days, Ozzy. Well, I know. You're right. Scott goes, it will be like a vacation. It will be. I don't get 3 meals as it is now. And it's different today at the Craighead County Sheriff's Department jail. Now, I mean, they'll keep you cool in the summer and warm in the winter. My show will still make it. When Don went to jail, his show still made it when he got out. I mean, and I'll make Channel 8 news a lot. They'll say, well, Dancing Man goes back to Craighead County Jail today because somebody fucked around and found out. Yep. Jamie goes, he goes, yep, that's right. Scott goes, you cannot mess with people that have nothing to lose. That's right. I've said that many times. I have zero to lose. She goes, Jamie goes, yep, yep. And USA goes, hell, jail ain't bad. I've been 3 times this year. Well, I mean, it ain't like you're going to die when you go, and they have to release me someday. I mean, you can look at it several different ways when you go to jail. I knew a guy one time that was homeless, right? I mean, homeless on the streets. And he intentionally got himself put in jail so he would get 3 meals a day and a roof over his head. So some prefer it rather than to be homeless. Jamie goes, that's right. That's true. That is right. And Scott goes, you're going to jail, not to prison. Well, I mean, I was never afraid of a damn thing in my life. I never was afraid to go to jail. I never was afraid to go to prison. This is how I do when it comes to fighting. When it comes to fighting anybody, I do it prison style. In prison, you don't know who's coming for you, and you don't know when they're coming for you. But you'll know it when they attack you. That's how I roll. If I'm going to chop you some, I ain't going to sit there and tell you I'm going to or warn you. I'm just going to do it. And that's how it's done in prison, at prison style. Uh, USA goes, worst thing is shit in front of people. It wouldn't bother me. You got to go. You got to go. I've done it before. It didn't bother me. Yeah. Uh, Scott goes, LOL. USA goes, worst thing is shit in front of people. It wouldn't be for me. Jerry goes, hey, in the military, you learn to poop in front of anyone. That's right. I've been in the military. You're right. Jamie goes, people just need to keep their mouth shut and just back off and back out, and it's not their business, so they're concerned about you. Well, the thing is when someone pops their mouth off to me. That's something I just never have fucking touched. Especially from a fucking employee at a fucking business when I've done nothing wrong. So I'm not gonna clean that up anymore. I'm gonna let it out like I've always have. You know, and a good thing, like she's saying here, it's a good thing to mind your own fucking business, whether I'm spending money in your business or not. As long as I'm not doing nothing wrong in your business or outside of your business, don't fucking have a smart ass fucking employee get smart with me, because they won't be working. They'll be going to the hospital. They won't be working for a little while, but they'll live, you know. USA goes, just remember to flush before you shit hits the toilet, because everyone complains. Well, sure. Yeah, you know. I mean, that's how it's done in prison style. I mean, you don't know when someone's coming for you. You'll know it when they open fire on you. That's when you know it. And either you stand there and you defend yourself, or you just take an ass beat. You know. So, and that's just how it goes. But I'm not afraid to go to jail. I'm not afraid to go to prison. I've never been afraid of a fucking thing. I can adapt to any lifestyle, you know. So, I mean, that's just me. Now, some people can't, you know. Just remember, yeah. And then Jamie goes, that's right. I mean, I can't. I'm paramilitary, you know. That's what they teach you in there, to adapt and overcome, adapt to any situation, you know. If I go to prison, it's not the end of my world. It's just the beginning of another one. Plain and simple. USA goes, longest jail stay I had was 6 months. I mean, don't get me wrong. I never went out to set a life of crime. I'm still not going to do that. But I mean, I'm just not going to take any smart mouth little young pieces of shit, you know, disrespecting an army vet that's 58 years old who's done nothing wrong. You know, I don't ask you to respect me, but I tell you, don't fucking disrespect me. You know, that's the thing. Scott goes, going to prison would be another chapter of this journey we are living in. That's what I'm saying. It's not the end of your world. It's just the beginning of another one, you know. And either you're a man in prison or you're a bitch. You know, if you stand and fight, even if you lose, you're still a man in prison. But if you don't fight back, you know, you're a bitch. You know, I sure ain't going to be a bitch. Welcome, Jared goes, welcome to the jungle. That's right. You know. And I mean, I wouldn't run either. You know, like if I chop somebody a few times, I'll stand there and wait for JPD to show up, or Craighead County Sheriff's Department. I'm not going to walk away, and I'm not going to run. You know. USA goes, Ozzy, you going to grab that lead pipe? No, I don't need a lead pipe. I mean, I'm skilled. I don't have to use anything like that. I mean, the last time I got disrespected at a business was just right down the road here at that goddamn fucking Checkers by that little young bitch there, you know. And I didn't take it too kindly, which I give her 2 fingers and told her to kiss my fucking ass and threw my cigar at the fucking place, you know. If she'd have been outside, I would have given her a fucking slap is what I'd have given her. But she happened to be inside, you know. She looked like she was a whole maybe 18 to 21. It wouldn't have made a shit to me if she'd been 13 fucking years old. If she'd been standing out there, I'd have slapped the piss out of her, you know, and told her, hey, don't you ever fucking disrespect me again, bitch. But Jared, you're right. Welcome to the jungle. I mean, there's two types of jungles. There's the jungle in prison and there's the jungle out here. Now, it's true. A lot of people that stay in prison, say 10, 15, 20 years, they can't adapt to this jungle out here. But when you go in there, you got to adapt to that jungle, which means you got to be an animal in there, you know. And you do. To survive prison, you have to be an animal in there, you know. If you don't, that means you're going to be a faggot bitch. That's the only other way you'll survive, you know. I hear the locusts is not as bad tonight, but I hear them a little bit. USA goes, I would have done the same thing, Ozzy. Well, if she'd have been standing outside, I wouldn't have had to chop her. I'd have just slapped the fucking piss out of her. You know, she would have learned a hard, rude fucking lesson. You know, that's why I said, you know, in the commentary segment to the business owners in this town, you better educate your fucking employees when it at least comes to me. That they don't have to respect me, but they better not fucking disrespect me because that's what they're going to get. They're going to get some chops. And I said, well, don't take my word for it. Don't tell them. They'll feel it when they do it. You know. Now, it's different if I go in a business or if I'm outside of a business and I'm being a jerk or something like that. You know, I can understand it. But I don't do that. I've never been like that. Scott goes, no, they do not have to like you, but they have to respect you or they will fuck around and find out. Well, it's not so much they have to respect me, but don't fucking disrespect me is the thing, you know. That's the thing of it, you know. It's one thing if they don't want to respect me, but goddamn, don't fucking disrespect me. You know, how do they expect me to react, you know? Like what Destiny done at Simmons fucking Bank, you know. So, and like over here at Workout Anytime Fitness, she done it through fucking text. And she fucking knew better than that. Uh, the general manager over there at Workout Anytime Fitness. Hell, she's a year older than I am. You know. Scott goes, I don't care if it's a grown man. I went to hear yes sir and no sir. Well, I mean, they don't have to respect me, Scott, but don't fucking disrespect me. You know, about running that fucking mouth. You know. See, that's the thing. I don't go around running my mouth to nobody. I've always been like that, and I don't. That's why I say I don't disrespect people. But I mean, it's one thing if I'm in your business spending money or whether I'm not. It don't matter if I'm in your business or outside of your business. But you better educate your fucking employees not to pop their fucking mouth off. Me and you need to hang out. We'll end up in jail. Well, I mean, I could end up in jail at any time, of course, you know, but. I mean, I know this is a big town, 83,000. I made a name for myself in Truman back in the day when I was a teenager. Before I was ever skilled in martial arts or trained as a boxer. I was one of the baddest motherfuckers ever in that fucking town, you know, as far as back then. But there's a difference today. I'm not bad today. I'm great today. There's a difference. I'm very highly skilled today, you know. So that's what I'm saying. Uh, That's how you made a name for yourself back in Truman back in the days when the toughest son of a bitch thought he could take you, and he found out real quick he couldn't. And that's when I was a young teenager, you know, 13, 14 years old, you know. Scott goes, yeah, me, you, and Bud all go to jail together. Well, speaking of Bud, I'm glad you brought Bud up because Bud's not been in the live chat tonight. I wonder if he got back, guys. Speaking of Bud, because boy, you talking about having bad Bud's luck. Bud does. You know, he has the worst fucking luck of anybody. I'll give him that. You know, and he really takes it in stride. I mean, I'll give Bud that too. You know, if someone had as much bad Bud luck as he has, I don't know if they could take it as good. You know, especially when it keeps happening day in and day out. I think he brings it on himself. Well, well, I would think so on some of it, like drinking and driving. You know, uh, but I mean, the job he had, I mean, they wasn't really the best employers either. You know, I mean, yeah, he lost his job. We figured he was going to do that, but I know how they've kind of done him too. So I mean, I mean, I hope he got back. Charlie, I think that's Abe's son's name. I think he was supposed to come get him, but I don't know if he ever did or not. But I'm like you. I think he brings a lot of it on himself. Yeah, but even so, even though he does that, I mean, he still takes it good. Uh, I mean, if I kept having bud luck like he did every day and night, say for a week, I'd finally get fucking mad. That would just be me. It wouldn't really serve much purpose, but I mean, I try to look at it like this: when I'm having bad luck, I think positive, and it goes away. It's not that I have good luck; it just goes away. But used to, when I had a good run of bad luck, man, I get mad about it, and I just kept on having bad bad luck. And then my friend Charlie said, "Man, if you keep thinking negative, man, we're having that bad luck, man." He said, "That's all you're gonna keep having." Jared goes, "Will you want a watermelon when they are done?" Yeah, yeah, I would, Jared. Back when I pitched watermelons when I was a kid, my mom couldn't get enough of them damn things. And the farmer would tell us, "Hey, you can take as many watermelons home as you want. Just take enough that you know that you're going to eat. That way you don't waste them." She'd have me bring home 3 fucking watermelons a fucking day, you know. And see, the way I was about watermelons, I would eat them, but I wouldn't eat them like her because I was afraid I'd get burned out. She never would get burned out on them. I told her, I said, they're going to give you the shits the way you eat them too. And then she wouldn't get the shits either. But yeah, I would want one. Now, it's not Jubilee watermelons, is it? Jubilees are the biggest ones. They're long and they're big. Some of them can get up to 70 pounds. Because I don't want to waste one, is what I'm saying, uh, Jared. Those are some big ass damn vegetables you brought. I mean, the cucumbers, the squash, and the tomatoes all are big, you know. Before I forget, guys, as y'all can tell, I'm wearing my Cricket Wireless hat, like I always do in every show. If you're looking for a good wireless plan, I highly recommend Cricket Wireless on Southwest Drive. It's in between the Revenue Office and Pizza Inn on the same side. I got the color wrong. It's the orange building. Okay, it's right across from Pac Mail. Go in and tell Pal and the other lady there that the strut man sent you there. Uh, Jared goes, "No, they are small rounds." Okay, yeah, that's what I was hoping you would tell me. Yeah, I would take one, just one at a time, though, Jared, because I'm one that I don't waste. So, yeah, just one. But I'm glad that's what you told me. Uh, Green thumb runs in me and Jade's family. Well, it sounds like it. I had a green thumb too. Uh, uh, but I can definitely tell that you got a green thumb. That's for sure. Uh, Timothy's not gotten in here tonight, guys. I'm wondering if he had to work extra late tonight. Jamie's husband. Maybe Jamie will let me know here in a minute what's up with Timothy. Uh, USA goes, "Me and Ozzy need to get together and do some shots." Well, I don't drink alcohol anymore because I'm an alcoholic, so I don't drink. I mean, I was just an alcoholic to one thing, but people around here, if they knew I had one drink of one beer, I'd be the most hated guy in Jonesboro then. I tell you what, the 412 Club in Paragould, I used to go in there and drink Jaeger shots. And man, you talking about some tall Jaeger shots for just $5. They were like that tall, you know. Uh, Scott goes, "I know some people would be happy if you would have a beer with them." Well, I'm sure they would. But if it leaked out around here, I mean, I'd be the most hated guy, Jared goes, "I'm allergic to alcohol. I break out in these shiny metal bracelets." What kind of shiny metal bracelets do you break out in if you drank any type of alcohol, Jared? I've never heard of that. I mean, I've heard of people, getting sick and stuff like that, of course, but oh, I know what he means now. Okay. Yeah. He goes to jail, right? I'm old school. You got to understand. So, well, we thought that was what was going to happen with Bud, Jared. Remember? And boy, he got lucky. Which he threw the keys too. If he had to throw them keys, I'm telling you, they probably would have arrested him for DWI. I know what you mean now by shiny. It took me, well, if USA hadn't told me, I wouldn't have probably figured it out. Shiny metal bracelets. I need English. LOL. Well, that's what USA just told us. He goes to jail is what Jared meant. Yeah, I'm like you. I would. I kept thinking shiny metal bracelets. You know. Jared goes. That's how I know. I knew get rid of those keys. Yeah, right. With Bud. Yeah, yeah. You ain't kidding. Yeah. If it wasn't for that, they'd have took him in for DWI. USA goes. Have you seen the Andy Griffith Show? Ozzy. Barney is a funny son of a bitch. Oh yeah, I used to watch Andy Griffith. Oh yeah. I mean, Don Knotts, he got Best Supporting Actor award every year that he was on there, and Andy never got that or any award. Period. And it pissed Andy Griffith off. It caused friction with him and Don. And Don couldn't help it that that happened. But Andy had real anger issues. He didn't really have any friends, and he even admitted that. Scott goes, Sanford and Son is the best. Well, I liked Sanford and Son too. I tell you what I liked on Andy Griffith was Otis, the town drunk. He'd come and put himself in jail, lock the door, hang the key back up. Jared goes, who don't like Barney Fife? Well, right. I thought that was the best character on there was Barney Fife. Now I liked Ernest T when he would come in on there too. And then of course Otis always putting himself in jail and then unlocking himself out to leave once he sobered up the next day. So yeah, I liked Andy Griffith. I liked Sanford and Son, of course. I've been saying, where's Timothy? Howdy. What time did you get off tonight, Buckwheat? Scott goes, what's your favorite old Tommy show, Timothy, from the 70s? He's asking you that, Timothy. Well, I know one of his favorites is Dukes of Hazzard, which I like Dukes of Hazzard, and the A-Team series, which I like the A-Team series. That was from the 80s, A-Team was. Jared goes, All in the Family was a good one, too. Archie Bunker, A Man's Man. Yeah, I think that was probably your best was All in the Family. Probably. If I had to pick the best sitcom there was, starting from the 70s on, was All in the Family. Timothy goes, Knight Rider. Well, Knight Rider was good, too. Yeah. Jamie goes, hey, sorry, Ozzy, I am babysitting tonight for my daughter's summer. Oh, okay. Well, I said a while ago, I said, where's Timothy at? I said, maybe Jamie will let me know something. I said, maybe he had to work extra late tonight. I was wondering about Timothy, Now Timothy's in here now. Jamie goes, that's why I wasn't texting for a few minutes. Okay. Timothy goes, I've been busy ever since I got home. Well, I didn't know if you worked late again tonight, Timothy, or what. I didn't know. But probably tomorrow you need to come get these vegetables, Timothy. I'll keep a tomato and one cucumber, and I'll send the rest with y'all. Scott goes, back in Texas. Yeah, I knew you were supposed to be back in Texas. Why didn't you stop pick up Bud? I think you're supposed to be there till Monday, right, Scott? And then you're going to go back to Branson. But Timothy goes, yep, I'll get them on my way home. Okay. just give me a text tomorrow or call or something, Timothy. I'll let you know right where I'm at. Jenny goes, the little boy that I'm watching, he's 4 years old. Me too. I'm 4. Timothy goes, I will. Good job, buddy. Good deal. USA goes, hell, I've been getting off work and tired as a dog. This heat has been serious. It's been serious here. It has. It's been real serious here too. Everybody here would attest that. I know you're down in Alabama, but it's been real hot and humid here. Has been going on for about what, guys? About 8 or 9 days. Pretty hot and humid. Tropics. And it has. It's been. But we expect it to be. It's June, so. I'm sunburned bad. I do roofing all day. Well, do you do metal roofs all day or shingled roofs or what? USA. If you do metal roofs, it's a different kind of hot. It's like you're melting type of hot. That sun reflecting off that metal. Jamie goes, yep. So at least Timothy ain't out numbered tonight. Good, that's right. And Jerry goes, I thought the heat shocked my garden last night when I watered it. Well, you didn't water it during the daylight time, though, right, Jared? If you do it at night, it should be all right because the sun's not out to help scorch it. When it's dark, it's usually fine, see? USA goes, damn sunscreen ain't shit. We do metal and shingles, but been doing shingles lately. Well, I know there's a different type of heat when you do shingles. It's hot, yeah, it's hot. But when you do metal, it's even hotter because when the sun is out, anyways, it will reflect off that metal, and it's like you're just feels like your skin's melting. Jared goes, yeah, I water at dark, but I had a lot of wilt. Well, maybe watch out how much you're watering it then, Jared. Don't water it too much, you know what I'm saying, even though you do it at dark. Scott goes, do not use sunscreen lotion, use baby oil. What? I did that one time. I used baby oil to go out and suntan when I was a young teenager. In 10 minutes, I was thoroughly baked. I had blisters all over my body from using baby oil. And I never suntanned again. Timothy goes, I got rained on this morning. Yeah, we did here too. But it got hot afterwards. That's the way it got here, buddy. Yeah. That's the way it got here. And it did. I seen it on radar before I even went to sleep. And it was about to hit here. And I thought, well, and it was pretty cool late last night. So I thought, well, it's probably just going to rain enough to make it extra fucking hot. That's just what it did. USA goes, I thought I was going to pass out today. I got dizzy and my head was hurting. Hell, I ain't using baby oil. I had a piece of fried chicken on the roof. Well, if your head starts hurting, that's telling you that you're probably suffering from heat exhaustion. And if you persist without getting cooled off, you could have a heat stroke. So that's usually your first sign of heat exhaustion is having a headache, which means you need to stop, get in shade, and drink cold water. Scott goes, 100 today in Texas. Well, it was in the 90s here, but I think it felt like it was 100 plus today. Now, Scott, I hope you didn't look at them damn prostitutes when you got down there in Texas. Did the missus come with you, or did you just come by yourself and brought your son back home, Scott? I have a feeling it was just you and your son. USA goes, it was 100 here too, unfortunately. Well, I don't think it was 100 here. I think it was in the 90s, but it felt probably 100 plus degrees because I know I only went strutting for about a good hour and 10 minutes, and man, you talking about some sweating, boy. I was sweating my ass off out there. Timothy goes, I was sweating and tired as a dog. Well, that's what you're in tune with USA. Jared goes, we used to carry a cooler full of ice water bandanas, trade them out when they dry up. Well, that's what I wear even in the winter months. I'll wear a bandana to keep sweat getting in my eyes. But I'll tell you what, before I took the bandana off to comb my hair and put this cap on, I was wiping sweat out of my eyes. My bandana was thoroughly soaked, but to be expected. That's the way it done me last summer too. Timothy goes, I carry 2 coolers with me. Well, I knew you carried at least one, but I didn't know you carried 2, Timothy. And USA goes, my damn thighs are due raw. I'm walking bow-legged. Uh-oh, he's walking bow-legged, guys. You know what that must have meant? He must have got raped the last time he was in jail. He's walking bow-legged. Jared goes, use baby powder is a must. Well, baby powder would be good, yeah. Yeah, baby powder. Jamie goes, yep. Seconding what you're saying there, Jared, about baby powder. But I mean, USA, if you get a headache, if you're having a headache, that's telling you you're about to suffer from heat exhaustion. So that means you have to stop what you're doing, get in shade, and drink plenty of cold fluids. And don't drink soda pops. That'd be the wrong thing to drink, or beer. You got to drink water or something like Gatorade or Powerade or something like that. Jamie goes, cornstarch is the best. Well, cornstarch is really good too, yeah. USA goes, I did, Jared, it didn't work. I'm trying Vaseline in the morning on my thighs. Well, Scott, did you hear what I said? Was it you and just you and did you just drive you and your son back to Texas, or was it you and the wife and everybody, all the kids getting back to Texas? Timothy goes, I've been putting that water away today, dude. Well, yeah, I will say the last 3 or 4 days has been really hot and humid, specifically the last 3 to 4 days. Now, I didn't drink nothing from the time I left the Parker Road Specialty Pharmacy till I got to Cricket. But when I got to Cricket, I asked, I forgot her name. I think it's Luell. I hope I got it right, for a bottle of water, and she gave me a bottle of water there. Jared goes, if it happens often, they make a deodorant type anti-chafing stick. They work great. Yeah. But I would tell everybody right now, it's going to be this hot and humid for the rest of the summer, as you probably know. So stay hydrated the best you can. But if you're going to be outdoors in the heat, you need plenty of water, Gatorade, Powerade. Don't drink beer, alcohol, or soda pop. It will work against you, and stay, when you get hot, if you have a headache or feel nauseated or anything like that, that's telling you. And if you're not sweating, that's telling you something. You're fixing to suffer heat exhaustion, if not heat stroke. So you got to get in a cool place when that happens, shade, and then drink plenty of cold fluids. USA goes, I'll try cornstarch. The damn thighs look like I rubbed sandpaper across them. It cause I'm heavy set. Well, you can be thin set, and that can happen. If your thighs start rubbing up against one another, that's what you're going to look like. Sometimes my thighs rub up against one another when I'm strutting out there, and they'll look like a sheet of red, and I'll usually just put lotion on them when that happens. It hadn't happened in a while, but it can happen anytime because I do different moves. So sometimes if my thighs bounce off of one another, that's what happens, You'll say, then when I get off work, I started puking like hell. Well, you were suffering heat exhaustion, is what you suffered. That's what I said. If you got a headache, you start getting nauseated or puke, you're having a heat exhaustion. That can lead to heat stroke. Jared goes, yeah, you had heat exhaustion, felt like your head was going to pop. That's what I'm saying. He said his head was hurting, then he started throwing up. So he's suffering heat exhaustion. And I don't care if you're at work, man. When that happens, you got to get in shade and drink cold water. And take time off for a little bit, for at least 30 minutes. You know, you don't want it to lead to heat stroke. And that's true. You don't want that. That could be very deadly. Uh, Scott goes, the whole family. That's what I thought. I thought maybe you might have took the whole family back, but I didn't know for sure. I thought I'd ask. You know, so I know you wasn't looking at them damn prostitutes with your wife with you. Hey, Jared, you hadn't asked me this tonight. Did I look up Bonnie Blue? The answer is yes, I did. Uh, I didn't get to see no sex videos that she participated in, but I seen what she looked like, and supposedly she was pregnant. So I seen some of that. So I did get to see who Bonnie Blue was. I think Stormy Daniels looks better than her. That's just my take. I think Bonnie Blue is pretty. Don't get me wrong, but I think Stormy Daniels looks better. That's just my take on it. Uh, he says no prostitutes today. I didn't figure so with your wife with you. Uh, Jerry goes, wet towel over the shoulders and sip cold water. If you chug it, you're going to be even more sick. That's true. You got to drink it slowly. Your mind will tell you want to guzzle it, but you got to go over your mind and drink it slowly. And like you said, that like putting a cold rag on your face helps too, and a cold towel over your shoulders and getting shade for 30 to 40 minutes, because you don't want to have heat stroke. It can be very deadly. Y'all hear this like I do all across the nation every summer, when the kids are still in school, that is, and they're practicing for football. You hear of a teenage boy dying, from heat stroke, in practice. So you really have to watch out in these hot, humid temperatures. If it'll kill a 16, 17, 18-year-old boy, just think what it'll do to you, you know. Uh, but Jared's right. Wet towel over the shoulders and maybe a cold bandana on your head or a cold rag on your head, and drink your cold water slowly and be in shade. You got to cool the body down, but you can't cool it too fast either. You got to do it right. Uh, USA goes, I'll do that next time because I was so dizzy and my damn legs were cramping too. Well, muscle cramps is a sign of that too. So Jared goes, go buy a sombrero. They may laugh, but you're shaded all day. Well, you do need something like a straw hat or something like that to wear when you're going to be out in the sun. USA, that does work. You don't want to wear a closed-in hat that don't have no holes in it. You want to wear a hat that's got some holes in it. Uh, you know, Scott goes, have a sombrero from Mexico. Well, that'll work. I always wanted a sombrero, uh, from a real sombrero from Mexico. I always wanted one. I've never had the opportunity to get one. I don't know whether I'd ever wear it, but when I would ever get the time to wear it, maybe on the show here if I had one. But when I'm strutting, I can't wear one. But Scott, I guess your mom's still doing good. Yeah, I know she was doing, I guess, pretty good when you left to go back home to Branson. USA goes, hell, I may go buy one because, to be honest, I thought I was going to pass out because it felt like I was going to fall asleep. Yeah, that too. Yeah, so yeah, I mean, if nothing else, buy you a straw hat. Nothing else. Uh, Scott goes, seen her today. She is okay. Well, that's good. I'm glad to hear that she's still doing okay. Well, Jamie Wilson goes, yeah, straw hats are good. Yeah. Jamie goes, straw hats are very good for summertime. Yeah, professionals will tell you that to get you a straw hat. Jerry goes, big straw hat, the bigger the better. That's true too. See, that lets your head, it shades your head, but at the same time, it lets your head breathe at the same time because of the little holes in it. USA goes, this damn heat is different from when I was a kid, I swear. Well, my mom used to say that too. It could be. I remember how it was when I was real young, chopping cotton and pitching watermelons. It was hot and humid back then, don't get me wrong. But to me, it doesn't seem like it's more humid today. It seems the temperatures are about the same, but it seems like the humidity is worse today. Timothy goes, I was about to fall asleep at work today. Well, that's probably telling you you're suffering exhaustion yourself. You know, uh, you really have to take it easy when you work out in this heat. You have to take more breaks and more hydration breaks too. You know, like construction workers, they have to. You know, they have to drink more. They have to take more breaks when they're out when you're working out in this type of heat and humidity. You know, USA goes, thanks for all the advice, guys. Well, uh, I mean, it sounds like you got pretty sick. So, I mean, that's telling you definitely had heat exhaustion. But the good thing was you didn't suffer heat stroke, you know, because heat stroke can be very deadly no matter how young or old you are, you know. And that's true. You know, I don't care what your age and no matter how great physical shape you are, heat exhaustion, heat stroke can affect anybody. Uh, That's like me. I have to take if I go strutting, I have to take more hydration breaks. In the uh, in the fall and winter, I don't have to. Most days, I don't even have to stop for one hydration break. But in spring and summer, that's different. I may call out to rest. Well, you might want to watch out on drinking the alcohol too the night before you go to work. I mean, because that's probably what's working against you too. Because alcohol dries the body out, and that's what all alcohol does. It dries your body out, you know, so it dehydrates the body is the best way to say it. So you got to count if you're drinking the night before, that's not good, you know. And I would tell you this: if you're going to get loaded the night before you go to bed that night, you need to drink 3 cold bottled waters before you go to sleep. USA goes, I ain't drank water in like 4 months, to be honest. Well, that's a problem too. See, I had that problem. I was just drinking all sodas. I don't do that anymore. I drink more water and I drink Powerade. I only have one soda, and that's when I have the live show at night. Other than that, all my drinking during the day and night, even after the show, is either cold water or it's Powerade or you know something like that. Because that works against you too. It's soda pop. Scott goes, how old is USA? Well, I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know how old USA is. I know he's grown, but I don't know how old he is. Jerry goes, it don't taste great, but pickle juice is great for heat and cramps. Well, I didn't know that if it was great for cramps, you know, and heat exhaustion and cramps. I didn't know that. Uh, USA says Scotty's 32. Oh, you should be able to work like a dog. You're a young man. Well, you know, he's down in Alabama, so you know uh, but you know, you know, you got to count. He drinks alcohol quite a bit, you know, in the evening. So that's what's working against him is when he goes to work, his body's already dried out from the alcohol. So that's what's kind of working against him. He goes, trust me, Scott, I do. That's why I told him he might want to watch out on getting loaded and just drink on the days he's off work. Nothing else. Be a weekend warrior. Jamie goes, yep, that's true. And Scott goes, just wait till he gets older. Well, that's true too. Uh, Switch to El Pato, Jared says. Well, he does that some nights. When he don't drink, he's usually smoking the Pato. You know, Jared's fully converted, but that might be what USA has to do because it works against him if he gets, even if he don't get loaded. If he's drinking alcohol the night before and then he goes to work, that's working against him. USA goes, I smoke weed all day. Okay. Well, fully convert to that and then only drink on your days off. You do that. Scott goes, if you snort some cocaine, you'll be able to work all day and all night. Well, no doubt. Hell, I could do meth and do that. And meth is cheaper, you know. That's what I loved about meth. Of course, I drank the schnapps with it, but I still stayed up all day and all night, you know. So, uh, and meth is cheaper. Cocaine is still rich man's drug. Uh, meth is real cheap. USA goes, I used to smoke meth. I did 6 months in rehab. It can happen. I mean, I was in a treatment center for 30 days only, is what I was in there for. Cocaine is expensive, Scott said. Yeah, I mean, you can buy a ball of meth for, depending on what town you're in, I think on the high end, 50, $60, you know. So yeah, cocaine's expensive. Scott goes, I would love to party with Charlie Sheen. You wouldn't be alive. He'd kill you. Jared goes, can't get booger sugar here that easy, but ice baby in Arkansas. Well, that's true. Cocaine and hookers, Scott goes, yeah. Timothy goes, you can sure tell from when you are young from when you get older. You can't take like you could no more. Well, that's true. USA goes, I used meth for 8 years. It's cheap, but it took a toll on me. I lost all my teeth. Well, I done lost all my teeth before I ever fucked with it. I had. Lost my teeth again. Someone stole my fucking dentures. I had 5150 parties and someone stole my fucking dentures. you know. Most people it does. If you use it for years and years and years on meth, no matter how good you take care of your teeth, usually it does wreak havoc on your teeth. Now I had sores all over my body, and my hair on my entire body had turned ivory white because I was just living on meth and snops. But and I went from 255 to 133 real quick. So USA goes, I was stripping copper out of abandoned houses. Wow. Scott goes, LOL. Or he says up here, I wonder if they are wearing your teeth. No, I doubt it, because it's like this. Everybody's mouth is aligned different. So you couldn't wear someone else's dentures. So, I mean, it's very doubtful. Timothy goes, well, I'm fixing to go to bed. All right, Fred. All right, Timothy. Thanks for being in here, man. Yeah, just give me a text or something tomorrow. I don't know if I'll be strutting or not, but if I am, I'll let you know where I'm at. You can pick me up and I'll take you to them. Jerry goes, USA was out here getting catalytic converters. Timothy goes, go to work in the morning. All right, buddy. Have a good one. Thanks for being in the live chat. USA goes, I would have been, Jared. Hey, that was going on a lot when I was in Paragould over at Larry's Auto Sales. And I remember Channel 8 come and talk to the guy who sold the cars over there. And he said, we know who's doing it, though. He said it's another business that's coming over there and stealing them, though. So that was going on. It goes on a lot everywhere, don't get me wrong. But I remember years ago when I was living in Paragould, my mom was alive. They come and talk to the guy that sold the cars for Larry's. And he said, well, we know who's doing it. It's another business. So it's another guy that worked in another business over there. Come over and would steal them. USA goes, or Timothy goes, good deal. Yeah, just wherever I'm at, when you text me, I'll let you know right where I'm at, buddy. USA goes, I would have been, Jared. Yep. Scott goes, I have some Cadillac converters for sale if you need some. Well, why would he need some now? I mean, he don't use meth anymore. Let me tell you something. I went and seen a shrink. I just gotten out of the treatment center, got here in Jonesboro. Hadn't been here but maybe a month, and I hadn't seen her in a long time. I went and seen her, and I said, "Well, since the last time I seen or talked with you, I said I think I got hooked on the shit and got hooked on snops for 4 years. I just got out of the treatment center down in Cersei. I've been in Jonesboro a month." She goes, "Well, how did that grab you when you was hooked on the meth and the 100 proof schnapps?" I said, "Well, how does this grab you?" I said, uh, "Y'all all get kickbacks on the prescriptions that you prescribe us. You don't get kickbacks on the meth and the 100 proof schnapps." I said, "How does that grab you?" And I said, "You get us hooked on the drugs that you give us. How does that grab you?" She didn't have nothing to say. I thought, you smart ass motherfucker. I didn't go back to fucking Sarah anymore. You know what I told her? "You're fired." I got up and walked out. She was a St. Bernard shrink that wasn't too fucking smart. I'd had her for a lot of years, and all of a sudden she wanted to become a smart ass. Uh, okay, I thought I sent another comment on here, but I didn't. Uh, I don't take no shit from a fucking shrink. Even one I've had for years, all of a sudden become a smart ass, she'll become a fired ass. Of course, I don't see a shrink anymore. I was seeing one over at Art Care, but I hadn't seen her like, I think, going on 4 months now, but I never had nothing bother me. I ain't had nothing bother me in a long, long time. Uh, Jared goes, traffic report. I had a feeling you was going to say that. Well, traffic is running pretty smoothly tonight, as always. One going southbound on Parker Road. Now, one had just come up before that going northbound. Another one going southbound on Parker Road. Right now, there's not much at all going up and down northbound, southbound I-555, but I can tell. Well, now there is. There's one going down on Access Road, going to I-555. But I see traffic going, I guess you'd say, northbound on Southwest Drive, and there's some going southbound on Southwest Drive. And that's your traffic report. And it was brought to you by Parker Road Specialty Pharmacy right here on Parker Road. You need a good pharmacy, Parker Road Specialty Pharmacy. I'll fix you right up. Tell them the Strut Man sent you. Uh, Scott goes, tell us something about Major. Well, I don't know anything. I mean, I've not really heard anything from him in, I want to say, 3 to 4 weeks. I've not. Last transmission I got from him was that he said just hanging with the family, and I sent him a text back and said, yeah, I kind of figured, and that's the last I've heard from him. Now he has hit on a couple of my videos where it shows where he just seen it, but that's been about it. I haven't really heard nothing from him. You know, I know what kind of job he has. I can't really tell the kind of job he has, but I will say this: he's over some apartments, but he's over everything about them. So his job can be quite busy at times. So I get that. And the owners live in California, and they're an elderly couple, and I don't know how often they fly into Little Rock, but when they do, he has to go and meet them down there and have lunch and supper and talk with them. But I don't used to. I would hear from him quite often. I just haven't heard nothing from him. It's been about close to a month, I think. Last transmission I got. He's younger than I am. I think he's roughly about your age, Scott. I think he's a little bit older than you, Scott. I think he's 3 to 4 years older than you. I mean, he said one time, he said, you know what, Scott lived here. He said, I'd probably like to hang with him. I said, oh, yeah. His girlfriend, uh, she's got, I think, a form of leukemia, I think, or she got some type of cancer. I know that too. And they've got her on cancer medicine. Some days she feels good, some days she feels terrible. And she's got like a teenage son still at home. Then his daughter, one of his daughters, lives right next door to him, and he's got grandkids. So he don't have no sons though. Jamie goes, did you do good today, Ozzy, when you did go strutting no business? People mad you made you mad? Did they ever said anything to you today? No, I only went for about an hour and 10 minutes, and it was late when I went for that. I just went up and down Southwest Drive, and that was it. I stopped in at Cricket and talked to the lady there, and then had a bottle of water, and then come back. So it was good, a good day for you. It was a pretty good day. I mean, I went to the St. Bernard's Clinic over here before that, uh, so uh, and found out all my results on all the tick tests come back normal. But he said the alpha gal is a separate test that you have to take. He said, so we'll get some blood out of you today. You said it could be 3 to 5 days, maybe tops a week. He said we should have the results back today. He said it could be that. Of course, I know it's not ulcerative colitis or Crohn's disease. You would have extreme abdominal pain. I don't ever have abdominal pain. I didn't have diarrhea for a week, and then all of a sudden I had it this morning. So, and it was the extreme kind again. So, of course, I let him know that. It could be some form of colitis too. It could be that maybe, but I'm glad to know on all the other tick tests that they come back normal. Jamie goes, so does the doctor think that's what is wrong with it? He thinks it could be alpha gal. Yeah, he said it could be that. Uh, Jamie goes, are they going to give you meds for it? Well, if it's that, they can, and it can go away, but it can also stay with you the rest of your life too. So, yeah, they usually give you meds for it. I do know that. I don't know what kind. Uh, and take antibiotics for it. Well, I don't know if that's one thing they give for it or not. I mean, I was on antibiotics for nearly a month, off and on, for a month. So I don't know. I'm just kind of waiting now. I went to them today. They took the blood today. So I'm not going to know anything for at least 3, if not up to 5 days to a week. So, I mean, the minute I find out, I'll let you know. I do got the appointment with the gastro doctor in July. I think it's July the 22nd. I got it written down. Uh, and it's over there across from the imaging center on Matthews. And I know where the imaging center is at. So, and probably if this don't come back with anything on it, they'll probably do a CAT scan of my whole abdomen, colon, and everything. That's why they fixed me up with a gastrointestinal doctor, because it ain't ulcerative colitis or Crohn's disease, because you would have extreme abdominal pain. I've never had any abdominal pain whatsoever. Jamie goes, are you feeling better today? And tonight, I felt a little better today. That's why I went some strutting today for about an hour and 10 minutes. So I did. So I felt good, and I felt, like the Lord wanted me to go. So I left about 10 after 4, and I got back here about 5:20, 5:25, something like that. Uh, I mean, some days, I feel my normal energetic self, and then the next day I'll feel real weak and real tired. And then it was for the last 3 days I felt that way, weak and tired. So I don't know, but something's got to be causing that to go with the diarrhea too. So that's what I'm saying. It's not from low T. I've got low T. I know that I've had that too. I know what a low T day feels like, and you don't feel weak. You'll feel tired and sluggish, but you won't feel weak. So it's whatever this is related to the diarrhea. So Jared goes, just curious, have you ever strutted at night? Yeah, huh? Yeah, I did in Paragould. I strutted for 24 hours and took 3 breaks, three 15-minute breaks. Then I done it again for another 24 hours about 3 days later. But I didn't have an audience. Once it got about 10 o'clock, I didn't really have nobody. So I took a break at 10 p.m. the first night that I did that for 15 minutes. Then I went back to it. The cops seen me out. Now they seen me, but that was about it. uh, Jerry goes, damn, yeah, you know. I mean, Jamie and Timothy had seen me some over in Paragould back then because they lived over there back then. But I know they didn't see me at night. They probably see me when I was doing it during the day. And I was thinner than I am now, too. Of course, I was still using. I was still drinking and using, you know. Now, I could do it today and tonight. I could do it for 24 hours now without using drinking, you know. I would still have to take me 3 breaks at least, you know. Jared goes, damn. Yeah, I mean, so that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Now, the cops seen me, the Greene County Sheriff's Department and Paragould PD seen me. And, you know, when I did it those 2 different days, 24 hours. And folks see me during the day and they see me at night. Some see me at night. But the way Paragould is, once it gets 10 o'clock, they fold up everywhere there. Everybody's at home, pretty much. Jamie goes, yes, we did. We seen you. Yeah. I remember y'all saying y'all did. Y'all knew when I had my leather coat too. Timothy asked me if I still had it, and I said no. She goes, yes, all the time in Paragould. Yeah, because that's originally where I started it at. My hair was longer and I was thinner. Those were 2. And of course, I was still drinking the schnapps and still using the meth. I would hold my schnapps and stuff up in the air and drink in front of everybody. And then, but I didn't with the meth. I'd do it in my tent at night. And I had a good place to do it too, on the 8 Mile Ditch on the east side of town. No cars could get to me. Cops could get to me, but the only way they could get to me is on foot. And I would see them long before they got up on me. So I had a perfect place to party in my tent. I didn't have to worry about nobody coming up, you know. Because we would get out on the weekends at night late, yeah. So y'all might have seen me then at night late. I did that a couple of 24 hours. USA goes, I'm back. I had to get my pizza from the delivery driver. Yeah, you did. We didn't know you was getting pizza, but yeah. Well, where's you got enough for all of us? It'd be a long way from Alabama to here. Scott, I hadn't seen Scott in here a little bit. He must be pulling rank. I wonder what he's doing right now, Jamie. I think Scott's been pulling rank. He's holding back. I didn't figure he'd see any prostitutes today with his wife and kids with him. Scott goes, hi. Mm-hmm. USA goes, got some Papa John's with boneless buffalo wings and a Mountain Dew. All right. That sounds pretty good. Well, Jamie goes, yeah, well, we did see you in the daytime a lot. Yeah. Yeah. Jamie goes, we got pizza tonight from Domino's. Oh, so y'all got pizza tonight too from Domino's? I mean, I like Domino's pizza, but I mean, I like Pizza Hut, Pizza Inn, Papa John's. I like all of it. Little Caesars. She goes, yes. Got the ultimate pepperoni, is what USA said. That sounded good. The ultimate pepperoni. Let me check my charger down here. Okay, let me hook my headphones up, and I do need to check my fan, see if it's charged fully up yet. No, not yet. Not quite yet. Jamie goes, my daughter ordered it. Oh, okay. And she goes, that's what kind we got too, ultimate pepperoni. Oh, that sounds real good. Scott, what did you and the missus have for supper and the kids tonight since y'all are in Texas? Jamie goes, we got buy one, get one free. That'll work. That was an ambulance going southbound on Parker Road. I see that a lot, them going southbound on Parker Road. USA goes, damn, that's a good deal, Jamie. It is. Scott goes, fried chicken, mashed potatoes, green beans, okra. That sounded really good, too. I could have had both of that for supper tonight. Pizza with fried chicken, mashed potatoes, and green beans and okra. That'd been a hell of a supper. Have some junk food and have some wholesome food. A little junk, a little good. I wonder how much of that pizza Audrey got to eat tonight, Jamie. Scott goes, in sweet tea. That sounded really good to wash them groceries down with. Yeah. Well, did y'all cook it, Scott? Sounds like y'all did. I don't know. Well, I know you didn't cook the tea, but I mean, uh, she, Jamie goes, Audrey loves pizza. I had a feeling she did. Scott goes, Timothy ate 2 pieces by himself. He probably did. USA goes, I paid $37.76 for extra large ultimate pepperoni and boneless buffalo wings and a Mountain Dew. Well, you paid too much. That might be a good price. I don't know. Now, I don't know what Jamie and them paid by buying one, getting one free. She goes, she ate 3 pieces. Audrey did. Let's get away from my lens. Well, if I get a large pizza, about the most I can eat in one setting is 4 pieces tops. In one setting, you know. And that's with me being real hungry, you know. Now, I will say over here at, I was wanting to call it Mazio's. It's not Mazio's Pizza over here. I'm trying to think of the name of it. I can't think of the damn name of it. They got good pizza over here. Uh, I like their pizza. It's really good. I haven't eaten none in a while over, but I do like their pizza. The breadsticks are good too over there. Jamie goes, yep. I'm talking about when she ate. You mean, yep, the 4 pieces, that's all I can eat, and the larger to what Audrey ate on the 3 pieces. I mean, that's good for a young woman to eat. If she can eat 3 pieces of a large pizza, that's good. USA goes, it's expensive as hell ordering out. Well, yeah, you got to count. They're going to charge for delivering it to you. Jamie goes, my total was $26.14 for 2 pizzas. That's good. Scott goes, Lost Pizza. I like Lost Pizza. There's a Lost Pizza right over here, but I'm not talking about Lost Pizza. I'm talking about this one here on Far Southwest Drive here. I was trying to think of the damn name of it. I want to call it Mazio's, but it ain't Mazio's. Uh, it's good pizza too. Uh, which I like Lost Pizza over here. It's really good. USA goes, it was just payday, so I had to splurge. Damn, that's cheap, Jamie. Great deal. Scott goes, best pizza in Jonesboro. Well, I really do like Lost Pizza. I mean, there's a lot of places I like here in town for pizza, though. I do like Little Caesars Pizza on South Caraway. It's good. This place over here, this pizza place over here, it's really good. And I can't think of the damn name of it right now, but it's really good too. So there's a lot of good places to eat here. Now, I've never ate at Brick Oven Pizza. I've never had the chance to eat there. Uh, Marco's, right, Jared. There you go. See there? I was trying to think of the name of it, and Jared had it. Marco's. Yeah, this Marco's here, anyways, I know is good. I've ate pizza there many times since I've been on this end of town. And their breadsticks are really good over there too. Now that's all I've tried over there has been their breadsticks and their pizza. I've not tried their subs or anything over at Marco's, but it's really good. Thanks, Jared, for letting me know what the name of that was. USA goes, I am going to work tomorrow though. Fuck that. Or I ain't going to work tomorrow. No, no. Oh, no, fuck that. There you go. Tell them fuck around and find out. you know. Now I think I'm going to dig into one of these cans of mayonnaise. Y'all are making me hungry sitting here. Uh, but I'm glad you you put that on here, Jared, because I knew it started with an M, but I couldn't think of it. I knew it wasn't Mazio's. You know, that much I knew. That much I knew. It wasn't Mazio's. I knew it started with an M, but I couldn't think of the name of it. Scott goes, eat them weenies. Don't talk about it. Be about it. There you go. Well, I mean, all of that sounds good tonight. Even the boneless wings sounded good. Now, I'll tell you something I haven't tried over at Lost Pizza, and they do look good, is their cheese breadsticks. I bet you they got the best cheese breadsticks in town because they really put the cheese on them. I've seen them uh, over at Lost Pizza. So I'm willing to bet those are really good. I'm willing to bet. Uh, one of these days, I'm going to have to go at Lost Pizza over here and just order the cheese breadsticks. Uh, my brother owns the business, so I'll be fine to call out, even though he's an asshole. He ain't going to fire me. Well, there you go. Jared goes, I'm eating peanut butter tortillas. Peanut butter tortillas. I've never heard of that, but that sounds okay. Scott goes, they are the best in Jonesboro, and down they have another one on Hilltop. Okay, I didn't know. Yeah, I do know they had one on Hilltop. Matter of fact, I went in there one time when I was strutting there and used the bathroom there. So yeah, I do know they got one there. Now I haven't tried the pizza at that one. I've tried it over here, and it's really, really good. So Scott, I think you're about right on the best pizza, but there's a lot of pizza places I like here in town. There's no doubt about that. Now the one, well, say the one on Hilltop smaller. I don't know. They might be the same size. But I'll tell you what, they usually have the people at this one over here, anyways, customers. Scott goes, and pretty girls there. You ain't kidding. USA goes, if you ever need roofing done, just use us, Roofing Express. Roofing Express. Well, we'd have to be in Alabama. But I agree, Scott. Pretty girls there too. The first time I went there, Autumn Gibson took me there, and we ate there first time. Uh, Scott goes, you might need a roof on the tent. Well, yeah, it could happen. You never know. I kicked my tripod. Sorry about that, guys. Uh, well, might need a tent on the roof. But y'all gonna be down in Texas till Monday, and then y'all probably go back the way I understood it from you, Scott. Or Jared goes, the Visqueen King. Well, it'd be something if I had a metal roof on my tent. Scott goes, yep. Well, are y'all enjoying yourselves, Scott, at y'all's home in Longview? I imagine that's where y'all are at. USA goes, my dad left his business to my brother when he passed. Didn't leave me shit, but his debt. Oh, man. Scott goes, yep, yep. That's where I figured y'all was at, as your home in Longview. Did y'all get any rain there today by any chance? It didn't sound like you did by it being 100. Nope. I didn't much figure y'all did by being up to 100. Jared goes, USA, that makes me think when parents say they love us equally. Yeah, right. Well, I bet he probably feels that way. His brother got the business, but he didn't get nothing but the debt. So that's what you're thinking equally. Yeah, right. Right. Scott goes, favoritism is what that's called, right? USA goes, that's damn right. Jared, I'm still pissed about. Well, Scott said that. I mean, but yeah, if he got the business and you got the debt, it would that it make you think, well, I guess I was the chopped liver of the two. Like, thanks, Dad, Mom. I know that's how it would make me feel. Jared goes, I will give it this though. I'm the problem child, so my brother and sister are first up for sure. Well, there used to be a saying, I was the black sheep of the family. You know, this thing goes, I paid for the funeral and the headstone. Meanwhile, my brother took the business. Wow. Well, have you not beat the shit out of him yet? I mean, that would definitely make me want to do something like that. Uh, Jared goes, I love it though. My brother, sister, aunts, and uncles know who to call when it goes down. Yeah. Well, then they wonder why siblings fight. You know, USA goes, then what takes the whole cake? He put his wife as the beneficiary of the business if he dies. Well, that's even more fucked up. Well, that means no blood kin will have it. You sure your brother ain't on the shit? Jared goes, I don't think he will be fighting my sister. She probably has her head on the best out of us all. Well, I think you told me your sister was a millionaire, I think. If I remember right, Jared. But I don't know. You grow some mighty good vegetables and big ones. You sure about that, Jared? USA goes, the whole deal is just a fucking wreck. It sounds like it, buddy. I mean, I can understand if he wants to leave it to somebody, don't get me wrong. But if you got a family, you want it to be a family oriented business, I mean, blood kid, does he not have a child he could leave that to or something? I mean, nothing against his wife, but I mean, Jared goes, yeah, she has what I would call the beginning of generational wealth. Is she married? I mean, when I worked for the one and only bakery I ever worked for out in Walton, Oklahoma, okay, it was a married couple, right? Well, the wife owned it. He had no ownership in it. And she told me that she said it's been passed down through generations and generations of my family. She said, not his. She said, he don't have no ownership in it. I said, oh, really? She said, yeah. So most businesses, that's how it goes. They pass it down to blood kin if they pass it down. Jerry goes, yeah, she's married to a guy that is equally as wealthy. Well, most people, that's what they do when they marry. It's one thing if they don't marry someone that's equally just as wealthy as they are, but they got to be at least wealthy in their own right. That's usually how most people that marry that's got wealth do. You know what I mean? Sometimes they don't have to be equally, but sometimes they have to have at least wealth. You know, I mean, unless you take what happened between Larry Pertinsky and Elizabeth Taylor, he was a poor man and she was very wealthy, and she made him sign a prenup if they got divorced, and he would get only $1 million. Well, they divorced. He got $1 million, and if I remember right, he put it into a some type of construction business. That way he would always generate money, which was a smart thing. But yeah, that's what I've seen in most people that marry. That it's one thing if someone's extremely wealthy, but they got to marry someone that's at least wealthy in their own right. Uh, Jerry goes, they both do the business in kinetic fiber optic. Okay. USA goes, if I was given the business, we'd be rich with all the contracts I could get, but I'll run it in the ground to sabotage it. Well, I mean, most businesses that I've ever seen anyway, it's one thing even if a married couple owns it, I guess, but most businesses I've seen though, if it's a family, like say a family owned business, it's usually always passed down through blood kin of some kind. Most I've seen anyway. I mean, there's some of it different. Uh, okay, Shonda Thompson. Okay, says hi. I am back. Well, good to have you in here, Shonda. Where have you been? I've been wondering where you been at, Shonda. Good to have you back in here. But I mean, I mean, there is some married couples that own a business. As equally in the business. But I mean, more than not, I've always seen it kind of different. Jamie Wilson goes, be right back. I know what you're going to go do. You probably got to go take your meds. And it says here, it says, check in on kiddo. Okay. Real quick, be right back. Okay, take your time. Your say goes, I may just be drunk talking shit, but I may sabotage the business. Well, I tell you what, I mean, that's what happened. You pay for the funeral and the headstone, and you got the bills, and your brother got the business. I mean, Scott goes, change the light from green. Okay. All right. Uh, USA goes, I'm going to start doing shitty work. I tell you how, I tell you what, if you keep on drinking and eating fudge rounds, you're going to be shitting through a screen till you die. My advice is smoke plenty of pot, eat all the fudge rounds you want, leave the alcohol alone. Scott goes, that's better. Okay. Well, I got to bring this up, guys. I seen a chocolate starfish for the first time. I was walking back from Jack in the Box earlier. I got something to drink. And I was walking across the parking lot of Arbus, and I looked down, and it looked like one of the big Hershey's bars that you can buy, like at Walmart. One of the great big Hershey's bars. And someone, I guess, just threw it out. Someone run over it right there. It looked like a pile of shit with a Hershey's package on it. It made me think of a chocolate starfish. USA goes, I agree. Pot is amazing. I just like the taste of beer. Well, I mean, I like the taste of a good cold ice beer. Don't get me wrong. Just one, But if you drink them to get loaded on, it's going to dry your body out. Then you got to go to work like the next day. It's just, I mean, a person can do it, but like you got sick today with heat exhaustion. So that's what I'm saying. You can don't smoke all the pot you want and be all right. You can smoke pot while you're at work. I mean, when I chopped cotton back when I was a kid, we smoked pot at lunch. Then we eat lunch and go back to work. Chopping cotton. You like me, mosquito. And the good thing about pot is you won't have a hangover. USA goes, hell, I may quit and work at Burger King and tell my brother to go to hell. He pays me like shit already. Well, that's not good either. I mean, one thing you got the business, but you'd want him to pay you pretty good. Jared goes, worst case scenario, you can get the munchies. There you go. You might eat yourself to death. USA goes, he's giving me minimum wage, $7.25. Sorry. That's right. She was only making $7.25 an hour, and that's the minimum wage I remember of Alabama right now. That's pretty fucked up. And Jared goes, damn, USA, that's cold. You bet. Damn. Because I remember that's what he told me a while back. It was the state minimum wage in USA. I mean, USA, in Alabama, I mean. Jamie goes, okay, I'm back. I'm back now. Yeah, we'll see that. That's pretty bad. The current minimum wage is still $7.25 in Alabama. Damn. As I remember that. I remember a while back he told that in here. Jared goes, Scott goes, she's back. She's back. Yes, she is. Jared goes, equipment would slowly start disappearing until we worked out my pay. There you go. USA goes, it is mean. While he's loaded, I know how much Dad had in the bank. My dad was paying me $11 an hour. So your dad was paying you 11 an hour doing the same work for the same company, and your brother's only paying you 7.25 an hour. I'd beat the fucking shit out of him if it was me. I'm just putting it bluntly, and I wouldn't let him know I was going to do it either. I just woke up and beat the fucking shit out of him. Doc goes, Jared, how much is your sister getting per foot? I normally do about 2,500 feet a day. Just curious what they get dollar amount per foot. He's asking you that, Jared. God is. USA goes. I was thinking about taking all the nail guns, Jared. Yeah, and I'd be putting some nails through your brother's foot if I was you. Jared goes, no, she sells the fiber optic to houses and corporations. She doesn't lay any of it. Well, not to be nosy, Jared, what state does she do this in? You mind me asking? She do it all over the country, I mean, or what? Jared goes, Kinetic by what Windstream is the company. Okay. Have you heard of that, Scott? Jeremy goes, you missed my message. Okay, let me see. Uh, hang on here. Hang on here, Jamie. I seen where you said you was back. That's all I see, Jamie. You must have not put your message in here. I seen where you said you was back. Your say goes, I'm just saying Burger King paying 12 an hour and I won't be in the sun. Well, that's true. That's true. That's damn true. Uh, you know, hell yeah. Uh, so no, Scott, you hadn't heard of it? Okay. Uh, I didn't know if you had or not. I knew I hadn't. That's why. The only message I seen by you, Jamie, it said you was back. Oh, I said Miss Jamie isn't used to having a little kiddo around. I didn't see it. Jared goes, she does it out of Little Rock. They have services in 18 states, including Missouri. I figured she had it in more than one state, I figured. USA goes, I ain't got no shame in working at Burger King at 32. Well, no. I wouldn't have no shame in working anywhere if it paid better, no matter where it's at. But selling pencils on the corner, if it paid better, I mean, you know, that's what I'd be looking at. Jamie goes, ex boys. I wouldn't have no shame in working anywhere, especially if it paid better. Jamie goes, it's been a very long time since I had little ones stay at my house. Oh, really? USA goes, I just don't want to get made fun of at working at Burger King at 13. Why would you feel like you'd be making fun of? I wouldn't feel like it. Money talks, like just said, money talk, bullshit walks, USA. I tell people, well, hey, don't be making fun of me working here at 32. My brother was paying me $7.25 an hour to work for him, and I'm making $12 an hour working here. Like Jared says, buddy, talk, bullshit walk. You know, I see older people than that working at McDonald's. I've seen a guy that was older than me that works at McDonald's, one of the McDonald's here. And I'm 58. I didn't think nothing of him because he was working there. He was in his 60s, I think later 60s. It's like the old saying goes, you got to go where the money's at, you know. I mean, Jared's right. Um, you think it's true that, Jared, that's the only thing keeping me from leaving. I just don't want to get made fun of. But if someone makes fun of you, tell them to go fuck yourself. Tell them to keep on talking like that, they can fuck around and find out. Jared goes, some people working at Walmart making $100K a year. That's true. That's true. Jamie goes, that's true. Yeah. Someone makes fun of you for working at Burger King, let them find out. Then they won't make fun of you anymore. Scott goes, Chick-fil-A pays $22 an hour. And that don't surprise me. You know, I mean, work is work, no matter. I mean, I never tell. I mean, I don't blame people any day for quitting a job to go to another job that's going to pay higher. You know, that means you're bettering yourself. Jared goes, basically anything is a jump above 725, man. Right. Jamie goes, you should not get made fun of because there is people working there that's in their 40s, 50s, and 60s at Burger King. That's true. And I don't look down on them because they're working to help make themselves a living, you know. USA goes, that's true, Jared and Jamie. It is, you know. I had an aunt that was in her 70s that worked at Walmart in Paragould as a cashier. USA goes, that's true, Jared and Jamie. And she wasn't making all that much money. Jamie goes, yes, it's very true. Scott goes, USA, go to Chick-fil-A. There you go. I mean, you can tell your brother one thing. Look, you pay me $12 an hour. I go to Burger King. He says, well, go to Burger King. Said, well, tell him, well, fuck you very much. That's where I'll go. Jamie goes, that's right. That's true. USA goes, I would, Scott, but we don't have a Chick-fil-A here. I wish. Jared goes, if you call in tomorrow, just ride around and look at options. Places are always hiring. Well, aren't you in Montgomery, Alabama, USA? You're either in Birmingham or Montgomery, and there's not a Chick-fil-A in one of them cities? I mean, they may not be. They might not be Chick-fil-A's in Alabama for all I know. There's one here in Jonesboro. Uh, Jared goes, if you call in tomorrow, just yeah. And then USA goes, that's true, Jared. I was thinking about that. Yeah, I'm in Montgomery. They don't have no Chick-fil-A's in Montgomery. If they don't, that tells me they don't have any in Alabama. Then probably. Oh, the Chick-fil-A there shut down. Okay, I get it. Well, still, it's a step up going to Burger King. You know, I mean, that's the way I look at it. I mean, it's not the job title that you have, it's the pay you got to look at, you know. So that's what I'm saying. You got to go where the money's at. Someone makes fun of you, give them a can of whoop ass real quick. They won't make fun of you no more, you know. Then they're having to tell the doctors at the hospital, why they're there. And doctors would tell them, well, it'd be my best interest to tell you, don't make fun of somebody like that anymore. That way you don't end up here. Well, see, I knew you was either in Birmingham or Montgomery, and I thought, well, surely they got them there unless they just don't have them in the state of Alabama. Jamie goes, yeah, that's true, right? Yeah. I mean, if somebody comes up and makes fun of me, no matter what I'm doing, I'm gonna jump up and give them a can of whoop ass. I'm not gonna fucking play with them. You know, I don't make no pay for the stuff that I do. If someone come make fun of me, it wouldn't go down very well for them. Uh, Jared goes, gotta make an ass whooping. There you go. Somebody come making fun of you because where you work at, what you do, man. That's what you do. Then you make fun of them, say, ha ha. You won't make fun of me no more. Now you're going to the hospital. Ha ha ha. Jamie goes, yeah, me too. Yeah. You know, I would never make fun of somebody's job or job title. I never have. I wouldn't. It don't matter as long as that money's used to make yourself a living. USA goes, they got a Chick-fil-A about 20 miles away, but I drive a 89 S10 Blazer. It barely gets me to work. Okay, I feel you. It's probably got 200,000 plus miles on it, probably close to 300,000. Well, I'll tell you what, guys, not to change the subject right quick, but Bud has not been in this live chat none tonight. So that's telling me something. I bet you Bud's ride fell through because Charlie, he said Abe's son was supposed to come get him. Now, I don't think he said when he was supposed to come get him, I don't think. Jamie Wilson goes, me too. I don't play when it comes to someone making fun of me. They are going to wish they wasn't making fun of me. Well, see, I've never had made fun of people, so I'm not going to do that. If someone makes fun of me, I know how that feels. I mean, I'd get fucking really raunchy with them real quick. Jared goes, work local in this economy anyways. Gas prices are going to eat you alive. That's true. And he said he's got an 89 S10 Blazer. So it's probably got close to 300,000 miles on it. So I feel what he's saying about that. And like you said, gas prices are high right now, and they're only going to continuously go higher until this Iran thing is settled. So, I get it. He said the nearest one's 20 miles away, so I get it. USA goes, that's true as hell, Jamie and Jared. It is. I mean, it would be funny on them if you opened up a can of whoop ass on them right quick and they went to a hospital and they're trying, and a doctor's going to ask you, well, what brings you in here when you got some injuries? And you say, well, I made fun of this guy because he was working at Burger King. You know what that doctor would tell him? Oh, I suggest you don't do that no more. That's what that doctor would tell him. Now, I will say this. I don't know if gas prices went down nationally, but over here at this Exxon over here, it was $4 a gallon. Now it's like $3.49 or 59, something like that a gallon. So Jamie goes, yep. I mean, and that's what a doctor would tell someone when because the doctor's going to ask you when you got some injuries, Well, what brings you into the emergency room? And you say, well, I made fun of this guy because he was working at Burger King. The doctor would say, well, I suggest you don't do that no more. USA goes, I just got to get the balls to apply. And he's laughing with tears coming out. Man, there's no balls to it. I mean, why do you think there's a look down for working at Burger King? I mean, there's no let down. Do you know that the assistant managers make a lot more than minimum wage there? You can move up within Burger King, and you can. You know, I mean, work is work. I mean, pay is pay. Jared goes, Doctor, I have been McFolded. Yeah. And then USA goes, Jared, that's a good one. And that the tears coming out. Yeah, it is. And Jared goes, worst case, they say no. That's true too. They could say, we're not hiring right now. I mean, so that's what I'm saying. I've never, you know, and especially in today's America, uh, you know, if you can get a job that pays more, I would tell you that's what you go do. I wouldn't care if it's selling fucking pencils on the corner. If it paid more than what you're making now, that's what you do. Hell, I know panhandlers that make better than that here in Jonesboro when they sit out all day long. Panhandling, they make more than I do in disability a month, and they do panhandling. Uh, Jamie goes, already, come on, just get out of Iran and let it be done and over. Well, that's what I've been saying. Either go over there and bomb the fuck out of them and get it over with, or get us the hell out of there. I agree, because when gas goes up, everything goes up. Everything goes up. And inflation was already high before this, and it has been for some years now. So I agree. We need to either take care of business and get them the fuck out of there, or just get our guys out of there and leave it fucking be. You know. Jared goes, every person I've hired, I met them face to face. That way you can put a face with a name. Even if you're not hired, they remember you most of the time. Right. I mean, that would be like if I went and applied for a job, no matter where at here in town here. And they could tell me if they got a hiring freeze on, well, we can't hire you right now, Ozzy, man. We would if we could hire right now. But they would remember me because, of course, everybody knows who I am. I mean, I did apply for a job when I was in Paragould. I told myself, this is when I was doing the strutting thing there. If I go back to work to get off disability, then I want to go back to work. So I was going to apply at Ghetto Hayes, but the manager there, the head manager there, he told me, he said, right now there's a hiring freeze by the owners, Ozzy. He said, I can't hire any. He goes, you're right, we do need a stalker, but he said, I can't hire nobody right now. I said, that's all right, man. No problem. So. But, I got to do it. I went to a treatment center not long after that, got out, doing the strutting thing again, doing everything else. So if it was meant for me to have a job, I'd have one. I've gotten more diagnoses since then, too. Rheumatoid arthritis, fibromyalgia, peripheral neuropathy. So it's just not meant for me to go to work. Uh, Jamie says, yeah, to what you're saying there, Jared, and that's true, right? You know, but it's true. Some places, they may need an employee or two, but if the owners say no, that means there's a hiring freeze. That means that other people that work there have to work longer hours and work even more, too. That's the thing, too. You know, his name was Jamie. I used to call him Hoss Cartwright because he was as big as Hoss Cartwright. And Jamie had been with Hayes, I know, 25 years. And I was doing free volunteer work there. And he said, you're right, we do need a stalker. But he said, right now, the owners won't let me hire anybody. And he said, a lot of the employees are having to work longer hours and work even more because we're shorthanded, you know. So that does tend to happen. Scott, you alive in here? But I am wondering about Bud because now, as far as I know, Jared, he didn't say when Charlie was coming to pick him up. I don't remember that, anyways. I just know that Charlie, Abe's son, was supposed to come get him. So it might be that he may have had to start walking back to Conway. Jamie goes, yeah, I wonder if he's still in hope. Well, I'll tell you what, before I would have just been sleeping there on the side of the road somewhere or what have you in the forest, I would have just left walking. You know, that's what I would have done. And then when I got tired, I'd have rested. And when I got real tired, I'd have slept. I would have done a gump. I'm like you. I don't know. Jared goes, knowing Bud Luck, he's walking probably. I mean, I would have preferred just staying there. You know, uh, that's what I would have done. I'd have left out walking. Because every little bit gets you closer to Conway. The way I would have looked at it, where I was trying to get back to. I mean, that's like when I left Truman and walked to Paragould. It took me 13 and a half hours, and I was not in good physical shape. And I only took 3 15-minute breaks, and that was it. And I walked the same pace. Scott goes, good night. Well, we was wondering about you. I said, I didn't know if you was still in here or not. Good night, buddy. USA, you still in here? Jared goes, I wouldn't have hopped in a company vehicle lit, though. I wouldn't have either. That would have been me. I wouldn't have. Jamie goes, well, it's 2-hour show now. Yep. It shows 4 minutes till 2-hour mark. Yeah. Jamie goes, it's 11. Well, it ain't 11 yet. I've got 3 more minutes till 11 now. But I don't think USA's in here with us anymore. I don't think. I know Scott's not. Because I asked if USA was still in here, and I've not seen nothing, Jamie and Jared. A little bit. Jamie goes, yep. I think it's just you and Jared and me now. Jamie goes, I guess he left. Yep, I guess he did. I know Scott did, and then I mentioned, asked if USA was still in here. He might have got sleepy after eating and went to sleep. Jamie goes, yep, the USA left. Yeah, I believe he did too. So it's just me, you, and Jared right now. So Scott got out too. Jared goes, if I was Bud, I would have walked to the closest bus station. Well, that's what I would have done. I don't think there was a bus station in Hope, I don't guess. Hope is really small, so Jamie goes, so I guess it's just us 3 now. Yeah, it is. It's just us 3. I mean, he was going to go lay down and go to sleep somewhere there in Hope last night like he did the night before. I mean, after the night before I slept, I would have got up the next day and just left walking and tried to work out a ride on the way walking. Jamie goes, yep. I'll tell you what I scrolled through and I seen on TikTok today, and I seen it a few days back too, was Ashley and Seth Gold from Hardcore Pond. They had their it was on Seth's live show on TikTok that he had going today. Jared goes, they have an Amtrak. Yeah, but I don't know where all the Amtrak goes. I don't. Jared, I mean, yeah, I know there's an Amtrak, but I don't know where all that goes here in Arkansas. You take where Bud was at, he was in the southwest corner of the state trying to get back to Central Arkansas. Jared goes, go from Hope to Walnut Ridge and start over. So that's how it goes. It goes from Hope to Walnut Ridge and starts over. Amtrak. Well, here they go pretty quick too. I don't think he had probably any money. He was waiting to cash his check or something. Jared goes, no, they got a lot of stops in Arkansas, but that's the closest to Jonesboro, being that he wants to live here. Well, yeah, but he still has to go back to Conway, I think, where his house is at, because that's where all of his belongings are at. So I think he was just trying to get back there, I think. I think Abe lives in Paragould, if I'm not mistaken. Abe and his son. Jamie goes, I know all about Amtrak. Do you? I mean, Bud has I'll say this, he has a lot of bad luck every day. Well, we call it Bud luck. I'm like Scott. I think a lot of it he does bring on himself. Don't get me wrong, but let me unplug these. They're charged up. Let me see if that's charged up. Yep, it is too. Let me unplug it. But I mean, even though he does bring a lot of it on himself, I mean, still it's bad, but it's Bud luck, you know. That's the only way she travels. Okay, Jamie goes, because that's the way my mom travels. That's the only way she travels. Oh, okay. Well, I hear they go pretty quick. You know, them Amtraks do. That's what I hear. Uh, you know, nothing wrong with taking them. Are they about as cheap as taking a Greyhound? And I think they go faster than a Greyhound, when I gather. And you do make a bunch of stops. I bet you do. I bet. Last night I had to use both fans in my tent because I had to leave the tarps over the tent because the rain was coming. So when there's no chance of rain, then I leave the tarps off because I got an open space with a screen over it in my tent. When I have to leave the tarps on the tent, it makes it hotter in there. USA, well, we wondering what happened to you. I was eating some pizza. Can't you eat and text? Jamie goes, they do go fast. I mean, fast. And then Jared goes, yeah, they are way faster than the bus though. I rode the train to Chicago and Michigan. Okay. Yeah, Jamie goes, they are faster than the bus. That's what I heard. That's what I heard. USA goes, damn, Ozzy, truth be told, I'm drunk. Well, truth be told, that's what I kind of figured, USA. Jamie goes, yes. That's what I thought, USA. I thought maybe I told him, I said, he ate that pizza and got sleepy and went out. You got to multitask, USA. That's what everybody has to do today. You got to do several things at one time, or you get left behind, as I call it. A lot of times I have to do several things at one time. Now, some folks can't. Some folks can only do one thing at a time. If their attention spans don't go very far, that's all they can do. That's all they can do. But me, I've been like that my whole life. I could always do several things at one time. Well, truth be told, USA, I thought that you probably got to drinking too much of the beer that you said you was drinking tonight. You ate that pizza, see, and then buffalo wings, and then you went out. That's what I thought. Uh, Jamie goes, yeah, I can. You can what? I seen where your last transmission was they are faster than the bus, and then you're saying, yeah, I can. Yeah, you can what, Jamie? USA goes, I got lost in the pizza. It sounds like it. Jamie goes, me too. You got lost in your pizza too, huh? Uh, you mean, oh yeah, you mean multitask. Right. Now I know what you mean. Yeah. I mean, some people can't, and they can't. There's some that can't help that means that their attention spans can't go very far, and they can't help that. So there's some that can only do one thing at a time, and those that are like that, they do get left behind. Some I wouldn't say bad, you know. Uh, but I was always that way my entire life. I could always do several things at one time. Sounds like you, instead of getting pizza from Papa John's, you got it from Lost Pizza, and you ate some pizza and got lost. USA. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. USA goes, I'm 8 tall boys deep. Oh yeah, well really you're about 16 beers deep, huh? 16 beers ago. Jamie goes, yep. I mean, most folks today have to multitask. Today, if you don't have to multitask, you don't have to. Then don't. And I would say don't. But most people today in today's America has to multitask today. That's just kind of the way it is. Jamie goes, I bet. Yeah, it's one of them things. USA goes, it's 5.5% alcohol each can. I think that's what it is here. Just for regular beer. I think it's something like that. It's 5 point something. It's close to 6 point, but it's not 6 point. It's close to it. If I remember right, it's 8 point, I think, in Texas. It's either 6 or 8 point. I think it's 8 point if I remember right. I know when I lived in Southwest Oklahoma, I'd go to Texas and get the beer because the beer percentage in Oklahoma is 3.2. It's like drinking water. Now, if I went to Cash Road Discount Liquor and Wines in Lawton, now they would sell 6 point beer, but it would be hot and it'd be like Stag, Schlitz, stuff like that. It wasn't like Budweiser or anything like that. That was back in the 90s. USA goes, and I smoked a joint. I figured that was in there somewhere too. Jared, do you got the kids tonight? Jamie goes, LOL. Well, I figured there was a joint mixed in there too. You mix a joint, 8 tall boys and pizza and buffalo wings. Only one kid tonight, Jared said. Oh, okay. What is that? You? Well, counting the if you mean you got one other kid, that would be 2 kids tonight. I imagine Jade's working, right? Jamie goes, LMBO. uh, I imagine Jade, because I think she works night shift. But uh, USA goes, my kiddos are asleep. Thank God, they're a handful. Most kids are a handful. Jared goes, Amtrak from Arkansas to call is 54 hours long. To California, I mean, it's 54 hours long. Well, that's not bad because I know about what a Greyhound is from here to California. I think it's about 4 days. USA goes, hell, if it wasn't for food stamps, we'd starve to death. Well, I only get $50. That's it. That don't even feed me for a week. You don't hardly get anything with food stamps anymore. Well, I mean, you just don't hardly get anything today. Jared said it's her off night too. Oh, okay. Well, there's 3 kids in the house tonight, Jared. You might as well count. You, Jade, and then the other kid. USA goes, we get 250 a month because of my kids. You're still not getting much. You count you, the wife, and what, 2 kids? That's nothing. I get $50. That's it. That's not even enough to feed me for a week. I mean, used to you get quite a bit in food stamps, but you don't anymore. Jared goes, grow you a garden. Yeah. Boy, I tell you what, them vegetables were very healthy that he brought me. That's for sure. Jamie goes, yeah, I wish I could get them, but no, they say I'm too rich. Well, sometimes a person can just make $1 too much too in order to qualify for food stamps. Is what the crazy notion of it. Sometimes $5 too much, sometimes 10. In a high inflation country, and then even if you do get them, you ain't getting hardly anything. You know. USA goes, I got 3 kids and my wife. Well, that's a family of 5. 250 ain't nothing. That's like saying $50 per person a month. And that's what I get. It's $50 even. And how's that supposed to feed you for a month when it won't even feed you for a week? That's what I'm saying. I mean, they don't give you hardly anything in food stamps, you know. USA goes, but the damn electric bill higher than Willie Nelson. Yeah, yeah. I mean, utility. See, that's another thing people don't seem to realize. Some don't. When inflation goes high, everything, that means your utility bills go higher. Usually renters raise the rent every 3 months too, when there's high inflation. Then you got to count clothes go up. You know, everything goes up in high inflation. Then this Iran thing is making gas go up, and gas makes everything else go up too. Anything that's behind fuel goes up. That's why I'm saying, I'm like, Jamie, this needs to fucking end. It's getting fucking old to begin with this fucking Iran thing. Trump needs to be a fucking man and go over there and claim fucking house and get our guys out of there and then open up the Strait of Hormuz. Or he needs to get them out of there and say, fuck it, we ain't going to do nothing else. It's been going on too fucking long. Jamie goes, yes, and it has. You know, it's been going on too fucking long. You know, he should have went over and wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, bombed every motherfucking thing in sight and get our guys out of there and get the fuel and get back over here. But he keeps pussyfooting around with them, you know, and I think it's a very big fucking mistake. He's not winning an approval rating right now because this has been going on too long, you know. Jamie goes, yes, 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 and that's the truth. Even if you're a Trumpster, you can't say that you approve of how long this has been fucking going on. It's been going on too fucking long. Jared goes, the only reason my bills are high is because my kids have central heat and air. We grew up with box fans and kerosene heaters. There you go. Yeah. Jamie goes, we are tired of this. I know all of America is. He is not winning in the approval rating for the Iran deal. And he's not, because it's been going on too fucking long. This is how Americans are today. It's one thing if we're going to be in conflict with the country, and it's one thing if we're going to be in war with the country. But Americans are not going to accept a war that's going to be going on for very long at all anymore. After like all the Middle Eastern wars that we've had for the last 30 years, Americans are not going to put up with it, you know. So it will affect when Vice President runs for election of president. He probably won't win it. It'll probably go to a Democrat, because this shit's been going on too long with Iran. Jamie goes, we are tired of this. It's enough is enough. That's right. Americans are all fed up with it. Even if you're a Republican and you back Trump, this has been going on too long for this kind of a fucking bullshit. He needs to stop it. That's right. He won't stop it though. No, because he wants to keep a fucking argument going. Either bow down or kill him. You got to do one or the other. Either you get out or you kill him, and then get out. You know. Jared goes, he said 38 times now that we are close to he ain't close to a turd even coming out of his ass, you know, and he's not. And we have already lost 14 soldiers, right? Americans are not going to settle for a long, drawn-out ordeal anymore with any Middle Eastern motherfucking country. When we was in war with them motherfuckers for 30 fucking years, you know, it's unacceptable. You know, I'm not a Bidener, but Americans are not going to settle for this shit. You know, we are not close to a deal. He said that, like you said, Jared, 38 times. You know, he's 38 times past going to sleep on the fucking job. He made fun of Biden going to sleep all the fucking time in front of the cameras. What in the hell is he not doing? He's going to sleep in the fucking cameras rolling. Same fucking thing, you know. I'm like this. End it or bomb them and get out of it, you know. You can't deal with them motherfuckers to begin with. They don't know anything about deals. That's not how they operate. The way they operate is you either give them what they want or you have to fucking kill them. That's the only two things they understand. And he knows this. USA goes, damn food prices are through the roof. 5 pounds of hamburger meat is $45. That's what it is here, USA. I mean, I'm like Jared, you know, he said that too many motherfucking times. And he knows we are not close to a deal. And he knows it. You know, you can't take everything he says. He's like every president before him. Bullshit is bullshit. Jared goes, you need to find you a local butcher, USA. Well, you know, I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I didn't vote for the motherfucker. I wouldn't if I could. I wouldn't vote for any president. They get in there and do whatever the fuck they want to anyways. You know, and that's true. But I thought when this first started going on with Iran, he would hurry up, bomb them, and get the fuck out of there. But no, he keeps drawing it out. You know, and he is not winning approval by the American people. Even the ones that voted for him are not going for this shit. You know, and they're fucking tired of it. Like everybody. USA goes, I was for Donald Trump, but now I'm like, fuck him. Well, that's about the way I am by him, because he ain't nothing but a fucking liar. You know, I'm like Jared. He has said 38 times we're close to a deal. He's a fucking liar. Jamie goes, he's not going to stop it. No, he's not. He wants to keep a fucking argument going because he don't want to do his job and either get our guys out or bomb the fuck out of them and then get our guys out. He just wants to keep a fucking stir going. Jamie goes, it's going to be 2027 still going on. Mm-hmm. Jared goes, name one president that has held their word just once. The last one that I know to ever hold his word was Ronald Reagan. No one since him. Jamie goes, and it's going to be 2028 still going on, you bet. Mm-hmm. He ain't nothing but a businessman all about the rich and say, fuck the poor. Well, that's true. I could have, yeah. But I mean, I didn't like Biden either. Don't get me wrong. Inflation started going up on Biden's watch because he cut the oil pipeline off from Russia to America. That's the first thing that started causing it to go up a little bit. Then he started sending weapons to the Ukrainians to fight the Russians with. besides the humanitarian effort. And he said, we all got to pay for the war in Ukraine. I thought, well, what in the fuck do we got to pay for it for? Quit sending weapons over there, you know, open up the oil pipeline from Russia to America, you know. But he didn't want to do those things. And he was a Democrat. But I'm not impressed with Trump. He's keeping this stink going with Iran. And I'm like you. Yeah, he's a businessman. I knew he was that before he ever got in the first time, now the second time around. But his word is not really any good anymore. He keeps saying, oh, we're close to a deal. I'm like Jared. He has blown that out of his ass 38 times. He ain't close to nothing but going to sleep like he does all the time. That's the only thing he's close to, which is death, you know. He made fun of Joe Biden. And Joe Biden was a little bit older than him, right? But what in the fuck is he doing? They show him all the time falling asleep. And you know what that is? That's falling asleep on the job. Joe Biden was doing it, but now Trump is doing it. You know, he made his own self look bad because now he's doing what Joe Biden did. Fall asleep in front of the fucking cameras going, you know. Spanky needs to go do like Biden. Go to bed. Jared goes, the U.S. has been castrated. People are scared of their own shadow or what people are going to think instead of what is going to push our country forward. Well, I agree there too. But it's like this. With the Strait of Hormuz, he said, you know, we don't use much of that oil that comes from Iran. Well, if that's the case, what are we doing over there to begin with? Secondly, it's one thing if we're over there, bomb the fuck out of them, get our man out of there and get it done. Or pull our man out right now, do nothing like you're doing, and get them out. You know, since we don't use much of that, then why should we fucking worry about it? You know, we shouldn't have had our guys over there to begin with. You know? So, I mean, that's the way I see it. USA goes, he needs to get thrown out of office. Well, yeah, I kind of agree there, but I thought that about Joe Biden too. You know, he's no better than what Biden was. You know, he's just doing other things than what Biden was doing, but as bad to the country. You know, so I mean, and he's going to sleep on the job like Joe Biden did. You know, he called him Sleepy Joe Biden, which fit him, but he's Sleepy Donald Trump. You know. USA goes, I agree, Ozzy. Thank you. Jared goes, I've been told by multiple veterans that the war has nothing to do with oil. It's all about money and big pharma. Well, I know it's about money because oil is money, of course. You know, big pharma, it could be a lot of it too. I mean, if it's true that we don't use much of that to fucking worry about, then why are we over there to begin with? Think about it, guys. Why are we fucking over there in fucking Iran? You know, if we can get by without it, and I know we can, you know, why are we even fucking over there? You know, that's what I'm saying. You know, we shouldn't be fucking over there to begin with. We should have never been over there to begin with. You know, USA goes, he drove gas prices up to an all-time high and food prices too and health insurance. That's true. That's true. I mean, I call it just how I see it, like y'all do. It don't matter if you're Republican or Democrat. It's one thing if you got a Democrat president that you want in there. When he starts fucking up, you say, "Hey, I might have voted for him, but I don't agree with what this motherfucker's doing." And the same goes if you're Republican and you wanted Donald Trump in or voted for him or what have you. When he fucks up, you say, "Hey, I voted for him or wanted him to win, but he's fucking up, and I don't agree with that." You know. You don't agree with someone when they're in the wrong. You agree with them when they're in the right, yeah, but not when they're in the wrong. And Donald Trump is in the wrong here. Jared goes, when you get a chance, look up how much oil we have in Alaska. Well, I know we got a lot there. That I do know. I don't know exactly how much we got there, but I'm glad you brought that up. We have a lot of oil offshore, too. That I know. And we've never tapped into our own reserves, you know. We've probably got pretty good amount, you know, now. So USA goes, he sees how much money can stuff him and his billionaire buddies' pockets. Well, that's true too. I knew when he got in the first time around, he was all for the rich. That I knew. You know, he wasn't for the poor guy. That I knew. He never was for the poor guy. He was always a businessman. So he was always for the rich guy. You know. Now you can say, well, Democrats more or less lean for the poor. Well, they generally do, but not in Joe Biden's case. He made inflation go up. So that hurt. It hurt everybody, but it hurt the poor really bad. Meaning me especially. People like me and worse. So. But now this thing with Iran is driving everything up too, and we already had a high inflation. This makes inflation go up even higher. So the country is buckling, kind of like it did back when Jimmy Carter was president. And I remember back then when he was president. Jared goes, what he is trying to do is stupid, which is use everyone else's resources. That way they have to do business with the U.S. and export more than import. True. Like these tariffs, it's only going to make the consumer pay more. I've always said that. Now, I've also said this. If he gets what he wants, he'll lax the tariffs. But still, it still makes the American consumer pay more. Not other countries, but the American consumer, if you follow the money. And it does. And we already had high inflation before he put these tariffs in. Then with the tariffs in, it makes the consumer pay even more now. Then this Iran thing has made gas prices go up more, make everything else go up. So it keeps spiraling. The country keeps spiraling out of control. It started with Biden and it's continuing with Trump. And the poor people are completely buckling. It's taking everything out of my disability check just to eat, have personal items, and have smokes. There's no money to save. Jamie goes exactly, or Jared goes exactly, and Jamie goes, yep. And USA goes, if tariffs go up, everything goes up through the roof. That's right. That's what I'm saying. The American consumer pays more. Jamie goes, yes. So that's what I'm saying. We've been paying a lot more for years now. And it just the country is spiraling more and more out of control. More debt. How much is enough? Now, I can say this. When the election comes up, if there's a Democrat that's running or a Republican that runs that says, hey, I'll get rid of the tariffs. This Iran thing will go away. We won't fuck with it no more. I will make inflation go back down to close to where it was at when it went up on Joe Biden at 2.2%. If I'm elected, then it'll be either Democrat or Republican that'll win it, but it will not be Vice President Vance. Jamie goes, yes. So that's what I'm saying. And I can tell you right now, I don't see this Iran thing going away. Probably not even when he leaves office. And if it don't, I can tell you right now, Vance won't win it. Now, another Republican can run and win it, but it won't be Vance. Jared goes, basically, someone needs to come in with the iron fist. There you go. Clean house. I agree. Jamie goes, nope. Nope to the iron fist. I mean, the way I look at it is I don't care if it's Democrat or Republican that runs in the election. As long as they promise, hey, I'll get rid of the tariffs immediately. Okay? I'll pull all of our guys out of Iran. Fuck the Iran thing. We don't need it. We ain't going to fuck with it no more. And I'm going to bring inflation back down close to at least where it was at 2.2. I'll bring it back down to 3.2%. Then that person will get elected. And it won't be J.D. Vance. And it could be another Republican, but it could be a Democrat too. It will still be going on in 2028. Well, I mean, it could be going on in 2028. I mean, this is 2026. Y'all see how it's been going so far. Since Trump's got in office, it's not went too well for him either, just like it didn't when Biden got in. James goes, no, I'm saying no to everything that everything you're saying about Vance. Oh, okay. Well, because they know if Vance wins it, he's just going to keep everything going. The tariffs, high gas prices because still fucking with the Iran thing. So they'll know it just be 4 more years of Trumpster, you know. So that's why I was saying no. Yeah, I mean, I did like the majority of what Trump was doing, except for when we had the government shutdown. I made it very clear. He could have signed that bill into law that would have kept people getting their food stamps and the military getting paid. But did he do it? And I raised hell about it on my live show then when it was going on. I said, that motherfucker, you know, he waits 6 weeks down the road to finally do that. So I call it how it is, you know. Jared goes, I don't care who is president. I just want them to be a patriot for the people, not some other country's problems. That's right. That's what you want. You want a patriot, you know. Now, look how Trump said it first. Well, they give us 10 ships of oil and we're going to get a deal made, you know. He ain't nothing but a fucking liar at best. I mean, we don't need the oil from there, and we don't. We could make it on where we get it from other countries as well as our own reserves. If we had to tap into that, and we'd be just fine. It'd make gas prices go back down. We don't have to fuck with the Iran thing. No other soldiers of ours has to get killed. Bring them home. Be a man, Trump. First of all, I know that's impossible for you to do, but I mean, be a man. You know, uh, admit your faults. That's one thing he can't do. He can't admit when he's wrong. You know, there's no shame in admitting when you're wrong. It's okay to admit when you're right, but it's also okay to admit when you're wrong. And he was wrong from the get go, as far as I'm looking at it on this Iran deal. You know, we shouldn't have no soldiers over there right now, and we shouldn't. There was two reasons why Kamala Harris didn't win it. One, she was a woman. Okay. Secondly, they knew if they would have hired her, it had been 4 more years of Biden, which high inflation. Okay. So those were the two reasons why she didn't win. Okay. That was the only reason why Trump won. It wasn't that there was a big outcry for him to win. The country, that people that was going to vote for the president wasn't satisfied with either candidate. They wasn't satisfied with Kamala Harris, but they wasn't satisfied with Trump. But they looked at it as they would rather have him as a woman, and they wouldn't have been 4 more years of high inflation. See, then what happens? He gets in office, and then he puts in these tariffs. Wrong thing to do. Then he gets this Iran thing going. Wrong thing to do. Strike number two. His third strike's fixing to come up, folks, and I guarantee you then Vance won't win election. I can tell you right now he won't. Jared goes, well, I agree. That's what we need, someone that would be a real patriot, Democrat or Republican. I've told people many times, if I voted for a president, I couldn't say whether I would vote Democrat or Republican. Because whatever they're running on at the time, if it sounds better than the other guy, then yeah, that's who I would want in. But I've maintained many times that president, even if I voted for him in, is still going to do things I'm not going to like, and I would tell you what I didn't like about it. But Trump's done had two strikes. His third strike, he going to be out. And I guarantee you that third strike's coming up at any time. I tell you what the third strike will be is if this Iran thing is still going on when election time comes, Vance wouldn't have a chance. And if these tariffs are still into effect, he don't have a chance. What they really need, this is what I could say. I don't know if y'all agree or not, Jared, USA, or Jamie. We need someone that's going to run for president that runs and says, "Hey, I'm not a politician, and I'm not going to try to be a a president that's a politician. I want to be a president that does something great for the American people in this country for once, instead of being politically backed and politically motivated. You know, that's who you would need to run for a president. Someone that's not going to be backed by any political party, that will tell you the exact issues that he wants to inform to the American people in this country. And that's who you would need to vote in as president. It's time we quit voting politicians in, Democrat or Republican. It's time that, like Jared said, a true patriot. Uh, Jamie goes, yes, yes. You know, Jamie goes, that's it. I think that's been the problem the whole time we've had presidents. They've either been Democrat or Republican. We need someone that's going to run that says, hey, look, I'm not going to be party motivated. There's no party affiliated with me. I'm just a man, and this is what I want to do for the country and the American people that's in it. If you elect me, this is what I can guarantee you I can get done. And the other things here that I want to get done would take Congress's and the House and the Senate's approval. If I get their approval, then these things could go into effect. But this is what I can for sure promise you I can get done. And I'm not Democrat, Republican, or Independent. I'm just me. You know, and that's who you would need to have as a president in this country for a fucking change. USA goes, I need to be president. Well, you could run. Uh, See, that's been the problem with politicians in general, is that they're politicians. Say for the Senate or for the House and governors, they all run behind the party. It's time that we don't have parties anymore as far as political offices go and presidential offices. You know, just be who you are. You know, Jamie goes, yeah. I mean, I'm tired of Democrats, but I'm tired of Republicans, but I'm also tired of independents and governors. You know, senators and representatives. I'm tired of all of them because they're all politically motivated. Jamie goes, yes, yes, yes. And that's the trouble with uh, America today. Jamie goes, me too. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You know, and if they say, well, in order to run for political office, no matter what that is, presidential or otherwise, you got to have a political logo. Then it would be F, as in fuck you, is what I would run under. And it would stand for fuck you to politicians. It'd be a new party called Fuck You. you know, Johnny goes, we are too. Because they said, well, you have to have a political, logo. Then it'd be a fuck you. It would stand for fuck you to all politicians because I'm not a politician. USA goes, we need a president that knows the daily struggles of poor families and knows the struggle of paying bills and affording groceries and knows war. I agree there. Totally. I do. I agree with all that. I've made it clear, the last couple of days that now there is some exceptions. There is some good middle class people and some good rich people that don't think they're better than other people, and they see how much of a struggle it is for poor people. But there's not many. Most of your middle class and rich are uppity up, trying to keep up with all the Joneses, and want to give a poor person a hard fucking time. You know, so that's what I'm saying. But is some exceptions, like Scott's one of them. Scott's middle class. You know, uh, Jared goes, if you could make the perfect president, you lie before or during your term, you're out. Just simple as that. No court case or debate. Don't say it unless you mean it. I agree with that logo. Look what happened to George Bush Sr. He said, read my lips, no new taxes. Then he turned around and raised taxes. Now, he'll tell you that's what got him not reelected, was that, and that's, what he shouldn't have done. He shouldn't have said, read my lips, no new taxes. Then he turned around and had to raise taxes. But it costed him the election that it did. I agree wholeheartedly with that. You tell one lie, you get exposed for that lie, you're out. That's what people are tired of. They don't like fake. They don't like phony. They like real and they like truth, and substance. And you don't get that in political America anymore, and you just don't. USA goes, Donald Trump always had his daddy's money and been fed with a silver spoon his whole life. Well, there's only a little bit I differ with that. He was born with a golden foot in his mouth. George Bush Jr. was born with a silver spoon in his mouth, but Donald Trump was born with a golden fucking foot in his mouth. And that's about the truth of the matter. But I mean, yeah, he was a businessman, but that was the difference in the election between him and Kamala Harris. It wasn't that the country really wanted him in. It's just they wasn't satisfied with her running for president, but they wasn't satisfied with him. So they picked him as the lesser of the two evils, more or less. You know, USA goes, George Washington was a real president, fought in war with his men. That's true. Yeah, that's true. You know, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, one thing this country doesn't want again is another fucking war. You know, we was 30 years all together in a fucking Middle Eastern war. You know, he's not doing things very smartly, I don't think, on some things anyway. Jared goes, a small startup loan of $1 million from his old man was a saint. Yeah, I did know that too. USA goes, the president hides at the thought of war, now cowards. Yeah. I think he's just a big coward overall. That's my own take. Jamie goes, well, I'm going to get off here now. It's almost 3 hour show, so I'm going to bed now. Nice show, fun show. I'm going to bed now. Okay, Jamie, thanks, sweetheart. Good night. Have a good night. Talk to y'all guys later. Yeah, I'll be ending the show here pretty soon. I'll wait till it's a 3 hour show and then end it. It's not far from it. Thanks, Jamie. I mean, one thing we're tired of is war. That's all we've been in. And then, I mean, why do we need the oil from there to begin with? Look where we get most of our oil from. You know, we don't get most of our oil from Iran. You know, and then like Jared brought up, look at all the oil we got over in Alaska. Look at off the coast, all the oil reserves we got and stuff like that. You know, uh, it's just a bunch of bullshit. We shouldn't be in no conflict, no war, unless they're invading our U.S. embassies somewhere around the world or invading this country. We don't need to be no more conflicts, no more wars. Period. You know, we need to take care of America, and he's not taking care of America. You know. USA goes, you wouldn't see Donald Trump out there fighting the war, the one he started and getting others to finish. True. True. I mean, and Jerry goes, we don't want a puppet. We want a president. That's true, too. One that's going to sleep on the job like Sleepy Joe. Old Spanky. All old Spanky knows how to do is say, well, we're close to a deal. The only deal he's close to is falling asleep. And that's about the truth of it. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't hate him. I don't hate anybody. But I'm just getting to where more and more by day, I'm not liking Trump. You know, because USA goes, George Washington would be out Iran fighting with the soldiers instead of hiding behind the desk in a pen. Well, that would be true, too. You know, yeah, you're right. You know, I mean, I just think this bullshit has went on too long for bullshit in Iran. You know, I don't think we should have been there to begin with. We get enough oil for other countries, plus our own reserves. There's no need for us to be there. There's no need for us to do anything over there before we send our troops over there even. We shouldn't have been in no conflict with them, you know. So, being said, this lies on Trump's lap, you know. And plus, he put these tariffs into effect. That's making inflation go up even more. He didn't learn from Biden. See, he didn't learn. See, that's the thing. He's one of them that can't learn. You know, when you're got your ego's so big that you can't learn, then that means you're an egomaniac. And that's what Trump is. He's just an egomaniac. Some people, their ego goes straight out of the stratosphere, and you can't bring them back down to earth. And Trump is one of them. Jerry goes, if they could change it, I think it would benefit the people to have presidents that were veterans who knows more about conflict than a major or a corporal. Well, I agree there too. You know, I agree there too. Uh, USA goes, he got greedy and tried to take from everyone. That's why the war got started. Enough is enough for the rich. I agree with that too. You know, but this is how the wealthy are. The wealthy ain't satisfied with 100 million. They got to have another 100 million. Then when they get that, they ain't satisfied with that. Then they got to get another 100 million. They're never satisfied. You know, the extra wealthy are never satisfied, and they're just simply not. And the love of all money is the root of all evil. You know, and that's the truth. And I think Trump loves money more than he could ever love himself. Well, no, he loves himself more than he loves money. But secondly, he loves money more than he could ever love his kids. You know, and when you love money more than you can love your own kids, that means that's the root of all evil. And he's very greedy. There ain't no doubt. Jared goes, and like you said, a veteran isn't going to wait around and keep trying to come to an agreement. Either you're in or you're out. Either you're with us or against us. That's true. You know, first of all, if I'd been sitting in the president's office and I knew that most of our oil, you know, come from other various countries, like I know it does, knowing if we had to, if we didn't get the oil from there, I could tap in my own reserves and we'd be fine. Then I wouldn't be fucking saying anything with them, doing anything, much less have our soldiers over there right now. You know, so yeah, it's a money thing with him, and he's costing every American more money. Even the wealthy don't like paying more. That I can tell you about wealthy people. That even they don't like paying more. When they don't have to pay more, they don't want to pay more. You know, that's a wealthy person for you, like it is a poor person. USA goes. If you told a rich man there was an extra 10 million in the middle of the earth, and others warned him if he drilled another inch, the earth would end, he would still drill 10 inches for the money. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But you know, it's like this. You know, I mean, the way the country were, they didn't want to put Kamala Harris in office, but they didn't want to put him in there. They knew too, even though she was a woman, that if they did, it'd be 4 more years of high inflation, like it was with Biden. You know, and that was why the country didn't want her in. Until then, she was a woman. Secondly, they thought, well, putting Trump in there, he'll bring inflation back down. No, instead, he made it go higher by putting the tariffs in. Now this Iran thing's made it go up even higher. So I'm pretty sure that the ones that elected Trump in will probably this time around. It's one thing if another Republican runs and against Vance, they would come more to voting for that person before they probably would a Democrat. But if another Republican don't run against Vance, then they'll vote that Democrat in. You know, and that's what'll happen because they'll know if they put Vance in, it'll be 4 more years of Trump. Tariffs, Iran thing, high inflation. The American people are not stupid. The one that's stupid right now is Donald Trump. That's the stupid one. For a guy that's so rich, he sure is stupid. And there's no saying, as you know. Can't fix that. Well, there's one way you can fix that. That when he gets his candy ass out of office, that you don't hire in J.D. Vance. I imagine there'll be another Republican that'll go against Vance. If I was a betting man, because they're going to know if not, then uh, then there's not going to be a Republican president because they'll know Vance won't get it. It'll be a Democrat. I mean, General Kelly might would have made a good president, which I think Colin Powell would have too. If Colin Powell would have, you know, run, I think he was a Republican. I think he might would have been pretty good. He was a man of military record, of course, as you know. Jerry goes, like my pop said, he's a great businessman, not a good president. There you go. But I mean, that was the difference between him and Kamala Harris. They didn't want a woman of color as president. They didn't want a woman as president. And they knew if they hired her in as president, there'd be 4 more years of high inflation like it was with Biden. That was the 3 things against her. They wasn't really satisfied with Trump either, but they thought, well, he's a man. He'll get inflation back down. But no, he caused inflation to go higher with the tariffs. Thirdly, inflation's going higher now too because of the Iran thing. You know. USA goes, our country went to hell in a handbasket. Well, we jumped from the skillet with Biden being into the fire with Trump being in there. We went from the skillet into the fire, so to speak. You know. So I hear you. I mean, so if another Republican does not go against Vance and promises to bring inflation down, getting rid of the tariffs, stopping the Iran thing, then it'll be a Democrat that wins it. Escomarico. I forgot how many streams I missed. Hello. Hey, I hadn't seen you in a little while. Good to see you in here. I'm only going to be on about 8 more minutes, my friend. It'll be a 3-hour show in 8 minutes. But I agree, USA. I agree. You know. USA goes, my granddaddy fought in World War II. All right. Congratulations there. He'd be ashamed of how this country turned out. I bet he would. I bet. Yeah. I mean, y'all know. Look how many years we've been in a war with the Middle East, the Middle Eastern countries, and then he's got us in another stink now with Iran. So it is what it is. When is it going to be enough to be out of the Middle East? Is what I'd like to know. So I mean, yeah, you said your grandpa was in World War II. Yeah, compared to World War II and how the country was then and how it is now. Oh yeah, you know. Jerry goes the big baby boom. Jerry goes, economy was kicking ass. Jared goes, now look at us. I know it. I know it. Escamarico, 3 hearts. Thanks, Escamarico. Well, I'll tell y'all this. Look what happened when that guy shot at him, and it grazed his ear. I mean, that was just pure luck he didn't get assassinated, you know. Jared goes, like my pop would say, walking around with our pockets in our hands. Well, our peckers in our hands. I'm sorry. Yeah. Escamarico goes, are we talking about Donald Trump? Indeed. I don't think we ever should have started this Iran thing to begin with now when you think about it. Because it just keeps getting worse and worse, and there's no deal. The only deal is there's no deal. USA goes, J.D. Vance would have been president if something happened, which he's a terrible person too. Well, yeah, just be more Trump. And that'd be about the price of it. Escamarico goes, I went to a Forrest Frank concert on Monday. Okay, I've never heard of Forrest Frank. Okay, guys, I got 4 more minutes, my friends. Have y'all ever heard of Forrest Frank, Jared? You or USA? Jared goes, if we can't make a deal, oh well, you can't please everyone. Well, I mean, I don't think we're going to make no deal. Do you with Iran? I don't. I don't see it. Like you said, 38 times. Uh, USA goes, good night, y'all. My wife wants me to come to bed. I'll see y'all around tomorrow. Okay. Okay, good thing. Thanks, USA. I'm going to end the show in about 3 minutes. So thanks so much, buddy. We'll see you tomorrow. USA goes, y'all be safe. You do the same, my friend. Uh, Jerry goes, hell no. To what you're saying there, USA. Escamarico goes, it's 1:02 a.m. for me. Well, it's about 12 here. Jerry goes, catch you later, USA. You must be on the East Coast, Escamarico. We're in the Mid South here. Jerry goes, catch you later, USA. Oh, Jerry goes, Esco is on West Coast. He said it's about 1 there. If it's about 1, I mean, they're 2 hours before us. So it'd be 10. He said it was about 1, and heck, we're about midnight here. So they would, if he's about 1, he would have to be on the East Coast. It says 1:02 a.m. for me. We're about to hitting the 3-hour mark, so we got about 50 seconds left, and then I'll end the show. Escamarico and Jared. Read it wrong. Oh, it's okay. So see, the East Coast I know is an hour ahead of us, so you got about 28 more seconds, my friends. Escamarico's been in the live chat quite a few times before. It's just I hadn't seen him in here in a little while. Jared goes, all right, Ozzy, thanks for being on tonight. Another great live, and have a good night. You too, my friend. Thanks so much for the vegetables too, my friend. Greatly appreciate it, Jared Wooden. I appreciate it. Escamarico goes, I think it's raining and I think there's lightning here. It may be. Escamarico, I want to thank you too for getting in the live chat late. I'm going to go ahead and end the show. We've had a 3-hour show tonight. I want to thank Miss Jamie Ann Wilson, Timothy, of course, well, Jared, of course, but I mean, who am I thinking of here? My mind just went blank. Scott. Yeah, I know it's leaving someone else, Mr. Scott. Escamarico goes, okay, bye, Ozzy. We'll see you tomorrow. Okay, my friend. Thanks so much, Escamarico. Thanks and have a good night. We'll see you tomorrow night. And I want to thank all the viewers out there, of course. And please join me tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time or 9:30 if we're running behind for another edition of the Strutman Show here on YouTube Live. Always coming to you live from Parker Road Specialty Pharmacy here on Parker Road in my hometown of Jonesboro, Arkansas. And until tomorrow night, I wish you all good night. God bless you all. And until then, so long, everybody, and good night. Oh, and the show highlights is coming up next.